What's up, y'all? This is your boy Phil of Dusk Enterprises. We got Tales of Rise today. Tales of Rise. Tales of Arise. We gonna continue on. We have progressed way too much. We did Lenegus in just a matter of moments the other day. By Lenegus, I mean this whole station right here. We went through all of it. Turns out Lenegus isn't actually like the Renan home planet, whatever. I thought it kind of was, but no, it was. It's actually a like a energy siphon. All that astral energy coming from Dahna, coming all the way through the siphon, and then it goes to Rena. We can't even. The fuck? Another one. Another side quest. Alright, well, I'll fill you in. Everybody is determined. We got Alpha and Encheon in different outfits. These are excuse me, ceremonial outfits. Or garbs, should I say. For Shion and Alphen respectively, because they have the roles of the sovereign and the maiden right here. Ooh. All the sword carry latent power. How's the skill tree? Everything's good? Yeah, I don't think we can learn anything else. We're just gonna proceed. See what's up. I don't know what's behind this door. Oh, never mind, not that one. Starship was unable to do any function outside of just like getting us to the point where we are right now. Lower level, center level, upper level. Okay. Okay, there's this door. Nothing sticking out. Alright.
This place looks a lot like that room we saw back in the Forbidden Zone.
Huh? What's that?
It's one of those!
A red woman in disguise. Or is this their true form?
So it was a trap?
It doesn't look like it can move. Tell me, are you the one who brought us here?
That is correct. It is unusual for me to have unexpected guests these days.
It can talk! What are you?
Hevrect 35.
Hevrect 35. Is that your name?
Correct.
What is this place? No, wait, before that. Just what exactly are you? Are you somehow associated with the Red Women?
Before I answer, I have a question for you. How did you all arrive in this sector?
We did not come to this place by choice. Our ship was brought here against our will, by a group of red women who can shift into the same form as you.
In that case, we can assume my brethren who serve the Great Spirit have deemed you all to be a threat most grave.
What do you mean, serve?
Are you saying there really is someone more powerful than the Red Women, pulling their strings?
What did you do to us?
I examined your bodies. You have not been harmed in any way. Identifiers detected. The Sovereign and Maiden are among you. However, you aren't under its control. I see why they viewed you as a danger now.
Oh goody, more riddles.
Do you think we can trust this thing?
Like it or not, it may be our best chance at a ticket out of here. Let's at least hear it out.
I shall now answer your questions. We are Helganquil. The Red Women you encountered previously are a form of disguise we employ from time to time, but not our true form.
Helganquil?
You are on Dake Phasol, a celestial base which drifted here by accident. The will of Rena's great spirit no longer reaches us here. Since my sudden separation from the Great Spirit's influence, I have used any and all means to extend my lifespan. As I have done so, I have also set out to monitor and research Rena and Dahna from this position.
A question. What is this great spirit of which you speak? Is it something that rules over your kind?
Correct. The Great Astral Spirit is a large mass of astral energy that fills all of Rena, one with its own will, a voice we cannot refuse.
A voice? Just like Dahna.
The voice of the Great Spirit speaks to our hearts directly, and we have served it, without question, throughout the ages.
Does that mean it was controlling your minds? Wait a second. Could this great spirit be the true sovereign of Rena?
The true ruler of Rena. It could be the same thing that's controlling Volron.
Wait, back up. You're telling us this great spirit of yours is the one that ordered you things to harvest the astral energy from Dahna? I'm not sure I believe that.
Why not? We've already made contact with the will of Dahna back in the Wedge, and in the Forbidden Zone on Lenegus. If Dahna has a will of its own, I don't see why Rena wouldn't.
Maybe not, but think about what you're saying. If Dahna has a will like Rena, then that would mean that we've been controlled by the voice of Dahna this whole time, just like these things.
Dana's will hasn't been forcing us to do anything.
Yeah, but...
Let's assume that what Hevrek 35 claims is true, and that we are indeed cut off from both planets. Even if we had previously been under the control of Dana's will, we would have noticed now that we are disconnected.
Your fear is not based in logic. The voice of Dahna is much smaller and quieter compared to that of Rena's great spirit. Rena's astral energy is amassed at its center, whereas Dahna's is shared among all its constituents. So thinly is that energy spread that it cannot coalesce and formulate a will. Our findings here indicate as much.
Which explains why we felt its will where we did. The Wedge and Lenegus are where so much of that energy had been accumulated.
The Great Spirit's desire is to consume all astral energy. And the pursuit of that desire is why you see Rena in its current state. As a result, it has turned its attention toward Dahna.
Is that why the crown contest is necessary? So that the Great Spirit can feed off of Dahna?
Indeed, and it was to that end that we Helganquil devised the crown contest. Had the initial spirit channeling from 300 years ago succeeded, all of Dahna's astral energy would have been seized.
But the ceremony failed. Lenegus was severely damaged, and you lost both the Sovereign and the Renasalma.
Correct. A change in plan was required to ensure the spirit channeling's success. However, recreating the Renis Alma required a vast amount of energy. That is why we turned to Dahna.
So that was the real purpose behind the crown contest. An efficient means to harvest the necessary energy from Dahna.
This is all happening because of me.
Nevertheless, you still haven't answered one of Alphen's original questions. Just why have you brought us here to your base, Hevrecht 35?
First, it was to confirm the identities of you, my unexpected visitors. Second, it was to ascertain whether you would be likely to accept my request.
A request? But what could someone like you want us to...
I wish for you all to slay the Great Spirit.
I'm sorry, did you just ask us to kill your master?
I did. It is in your best interest that you do so, I might add.
What makes you say that?
Lenegis has entered the final stage of the spirit channeling plan. As we speak, Dahna's energy is being harvested en masse and transmitted to Rena. If nothing is done about the Great Spirit, it will not be long before all is lost.
You're saying the destruction we saw earlier is just the beginning? That...
We won't let that happen.
Why do you want us to kill the Great Spirit so badly? Is it to save our world? To free you, Helganquil, from under its control? Why?
No. My primary concern is validating our findings and analysis, which have taken many years to realize. As such, it is my desire to see how your actions impact and change these systems. However, I will not deny that vengeance also plays a part.
Vengeance? For what?
In spite of our long service to the Great Spirit, our species is on the brink of extinction.
You mean... you're dying?
At this stage, it would be wise for you to talk with the others. Ask them what you need to know. Once you have your answer, return to me. If you agree to help, I shall fix your ship.
Others? Just how many of you are there?
I am the only Helganquil who inhabits Dake Phasal.
Hey! Hey!
It's no use. I think it's done talking to us. Let's take a look around.
Ooh boy. Find the others. And seems to manage Hevrecht 35's condition. Lots of vital signs stats are displayed. So the true sovereign is the Great Spirit. Explains that weird looking glowing thing in the opening. Alright, let's do what he says. Let's see what's going on.
You can't seriously be buying anything that creature told us, right? I mean, it's practically blackmailing us into doing its dirty work.
To be honest, the conversation went on for so long, I'm not sure I understood all of it. How about you, Dohalim? Were you able to follow it at all?
At the very least, everything it said about the Renan Great Spirit adds up. At the end of the day, this whole chain of events comes back to astral energy. That being said, had we not previously encountered the will of Dahna, I suspect I would find its story much more difficult to believe.
The spirit of Rena wants to see Dahna completely destroyed.
But why? Astral energy is supposed to be a force that creates and shapes the world.
It doesn't matter. I don't care if we're up against an entire world or what its game is. We're not going to let it destroy Dahna.
Right.
There is one other thing that concerns me. How the Great Spirit, the Helganquil, and the Crown Contest are all part of a centuries-long plan is clear enough. But what about the Renans? How do they factor into all this?
Now that you mention it, and all that talk, Hevrecht 35 never even brought up the Renans once. And as for the Helganquil, we never did find out just what they are either.
Maybe it had a reason for keeping its silence. Or perhaps there's even more going on. Maybe the others will shed more light on the matter. Let's find out.
I sure hope so. Okay. I'm not sure where all these peeps are. Definitely not through there. Fast travel point up to... Oh, okay.
Who are they?
What is it?
Oh, my apologies. It's just been so long since I've seen any humans from the outside world.
He sounds just like Zephyr.
Are you a Renan?
Hmm? Oh, yeah, I guess so. The Overseer told us to answer any questions you might have. Whatever you want to know, we'll tell you as much as we can. But be quick. Our subjects are undergoing a dramatic shift that we don't want to miss.
What a weird guy.
He must have meant Hevrect 35 when he mentioned that Overseer.
And what was that about subjects? You don't think he meant Dahna and Rena, do you?
There isn't anyone else we can talk to. I guess we should ask around here.
Right, let's see what...
Can we talk to you for a few minutes?
Sure. It's going to be a while before the two planets undergo their next shift, so I can talk until then.
Please, tell us what you know about the Helganquil.
You mean the Overseer's species? I can't say I know much about them.
Well, for starters, where'd they come from?
Where else? From Rena, obviously.
From Rena? Wait, are you telling us those things live right alongside the Renans down there?
Of course not. There's really no such thing as Renans in the first place.
Excuse me?
Oh, I thought the Overseer explained everything.
Apparently not.
Please, tell us more.
Well, in a nutshell, the Renans were originally created from Dahnans by the Helganquil.
But if that's true, then that would mean there aren't any people on Rena.
There aren't. But there are Helganquil. That's what the name literally means in their language. People of Rena.
But what need could they possibly have to create a whole new race of people?
It was a way to bolster their dwindling workforce. I trust you're aware that the Helganquil are on the verge of extinction, yes? In essence, we were created to carry on their work for the Great Spirit after they all die. They gathered Dahnans who had an affinity for astral arts and proceeded from there. That's why we, as their descendants, can all cast arts, albeit to varying degrees.
Let me get this straight. Are you saying Renans were originally created from Dahnans that the Helganquil kidnapped?
Wait, that explains why almost nobody can use astro arts on Dahna now.
Oh my god!
Is amazing. The way they alter their bodies is far less
W
invasive
storytelling,
than
holy
your
fuck.
conventional surgeries. They have these tiny machines that are practically invisible, which they insert into their bodies and...
Enough. You needn't tell us anymore.
How can you speak so calmly about all of this?
I guess I can see how, when viewed in a certain light, their ways may sound grotesque. But if you ask me, I think they ultimately did us a favor. They saved us from crawling the earth in ignorance. If it meant their hands had to get a little dirty in the process, then so be it. Anyway, the Helganquil are the real Renans. Personally, I don't think it's such a big deal. They're also mostly the ones behind what you see going on between the two planets. I think that covers just about everything worth knowing.
Oh my
I see.
fucking god.
Thanks for filling us in.
Does he really expect us to believe that Renans never truly existed? How absurd.
Dohalim.
Just when I think we're getting to the bottom of it all, some new revelation smacks us in the face.
Then let's hope this is our last revelation for a while.
True. Holy fuck. No skit, no nothing. Dude, that's some fucking scary ass shit. I ain't gonna lie. Just maintain constant monitoring to ensure nothing approaches. Dig Fizzle. Alright, lady, what's up?
Have you guys lived up here in Dig Faisal with Hevrek 35 for a long time?
Yes. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head just how long it's been, though. We regularly go into stasis, so our sense of time has gotten rather out of whack over the years.
Why are you all even here in the first place?
Originally, this station was where we worked to perform maintenance on Lenegus from the outside.
We heard that the facility ended up in its current location due to an accident.
Oh, it was terrible. Apparently there was some kind of accident, and when help never arrived, they presumed the entire facility had been destroyed.
And you've been working for Hevrek 35 ever since?
Well, at first we thought that there was nobody else inside the facility, but then it turned out the Overseer was there all along.
What do you mean?
The Helganquil have the technology to cloak themselves around us Renans. As long as they don't do anything obvious, a Renan won't see one, even if it's right in front of them.
Which would explain why Shion and I failed to notice the Red Women previously. Do they employ an astral art of some sort?
I haven't been able to scientifically confirm it for myself, but from what I understand, the type of cloaking they use is primarily achieved through mechanical means. In addition, they also used hypnosis devices and information control to get us to do what they wanted without being detected. It's a pretty sophisticated operation, especially since it avoids any unnecessary conflict. I have to imagine that's how Lenegus is still run.
But aren't the Helganquil themselves controlled by the Great Spirit? If so, why aren't Renans affected by it in the same way?
The Great Spirit's mind control only works on Helganquil, so they had to employ other means to manipulate us Renans.
You act like this didn't affect you personally. If I was you, I'd be mad as hell.
Hey,
at
what's
their
up, Tossing Jay?
deceptions.
I mean, sure, I was surprised when I first found out about it, but it happened so long ago.
Hevrek 35 has clearly ceased concealing itself, though. Why is that?
Who can say? My guess is it just got bored, or maybe even a little lonely.
Don't you want to go back home to Rena or Lenegus? Our ship is going to be fixed pretty soon. You could ride with us.
No way. If we went back after knowing the truth, they'd either just brainwash us or purge us outright. After all this time, there's nothing to be gained from going back. We've all agreed it'd be best to simply stay here and watch everything unfold instead. Things are going just fine with the Overseer. Not that it'll be around much longer. It can't extend its life any further. That said, I'm sure it's pleased to see the final stage of the plan before it passes on, though.
Thank you for answering our questions.
Okay. What's up, Mr. Big Boss?
Do you know anything about a spirit channeling plan?
If you mean the first plan from 300 years ago, then yes. Do you know what its main objective was?
Yes. It was to use Lenegus to siphon off Dahna's astral energy and send it to Rena.
Exactly. However, there were two problems we had to consider. First was how to collect and send such a large quantity of astral energy without it becoming sentient. Second, we had to figure out how to convert Dahna's energy so it would be compatible with Rena.
I take it the solutions to those problems were to use the wedge for the collection, and then the Sovereign and Maiden to convert the energy.
That's right.
We have a winner. However, the first plan failed when the Sovereign was overwhelmed and became frenzied. The reason for that is because the Maiden lost control. I'm told he slaughtered many Renans in Helganquil that day. For the next plan, we tried to recreate the Renaissance, but we didn't have nearly enough of the other non-dark astral energy types. To amend that, we set our sights on Dahna and implemented a system whereby we could extract energy from it.
And the crown contests began.
Correct. Since the Maiden had been the failing point in the previous plan, it was decided to replace her role with machinery to avoid further mishaps. A new sovereign had to be made as well.
Okay.
It was such tremendously difficult work, its success was dubious. But from the look of things, it would appear such worries were unfounded.
So that's what the purpose of that room we found in the Forbidden Zone was.
What about the flower that sprouted from Rena?
Flower? Oh, that thing. That's the physical manifestation of all the astral energy that's been harvested from Dahna. As I'm sure you've noticed, it's quite a lot of energy. At this point, it's likely that it's become physically integrated with Rena's planetary structure.
Hevrect 35 mentioned that the spirit channeling plan is entering its final stage. Is that true?
It is. I never thought I would live to see the day with my own eyes, and yet here we are. Are we done talking now? If it's all the same to you, I'd really rather not miss anything that's about to happen.
He talks like the potential end of the world is just another day on the job.
You've got to remember that these guys have been living alone up here for a long time. Who knows what shape their minds are in?
It's been a day. Oh my gosh.
Feels like our whole world has been turned upside
What
down.
happened?
Is there anything we know that's still true at this point?
Seriously, I'm still trying to process the fact that we Renans were created by the Helganquil, let alone the Sovereign and Maiden stuff.
Let's take a moment to gather ourselves. I know all of this is a lot to believe and take in, but
People
I think it's fair to say that we've found the answers we've been looking for.
The more he.
Does everyone agree?
Agreed.
I get you.
Though I'll admit that I never expected it to all boil down to Rena's great spirit being behind everything.
Everything that's happened, everything we've endured, it's all because of astral energy.
And to get that energy, the Great Spirit took control of the Helganquil. Then the Helganquil created the Renans, who went on to invade and rule over the Dahnans.
Plus, the reason the Great Spirit can't directly control the Renans as well is likely because they were originally Dahnans all along.
Either way, I think it's fair to say we've all had a lot to take in at once. Maybe too much, even. We should probably take it easy and rest our minds a bit. Why don't we all take some time to think things over, before we decide on our next move?
That's a good idea, Kisara. If the Renan Great Spirit really is behind all this, then we've got a really big fight ahead of us. Because it's not just Dahna on the line, but Rena too. If we're going to do this, we need to be completely sure of ourselves. So let's go ahead and break off for now. We aren't in any immediate danger, so we should be okay. You sure you don't want to be alone right now?
I could ask you the same question.
I figured I'd get all my thinking in while walking around and checking up on everybody.
I'll go along with you. I'm interested to hear what's on everyone's minds too.
Sounds good.
You're off tomorrow.
Let's go.
Yeah,
find
take some rest. Already displayed.
Everyone's just gone their own way, huh?
Yeah, let's hit up each spot. Everything we thought we knew, it was all just a fabrication that the Red Women, no, that the Helganquil made up.
Right. Assuming we can believe anything that Hevrect 35 has told us, that is.
Well, if the names are anything to go by, it's possible the Helganquil could be behind the fruits of Helgen too.
But if Hevrect
Oh,
35
it,
was
oh
telling
my
the
fuck,
truth,
it makes
and
sense.
this was all just one massive lie, does that mean
No
everything
wonder
we've done
it
up
derives
until
from the
now has
same
been
word.
pointless?
No, I don't think so. Or at least I hope not. I think it just means we've lost our foothold for now. That's all.
Really? Well then, if we've lost it, I guess we'll just have to find another. All of us together. And if we can't find one, then we'll make a new one. End of story.
Make one, huh? I see. Right then. Count me in.
Generally, will soon finally conclude as the Overseer reaches the end of its lifespan. What do you do once the project's over and there's nothing left for us to research? When we collapsed again, help me back up. I appreciate it. Thanks to you, I can continue to go on about my research. Zoogle. Friends and Lennigus lose control of their Zoogles. Suppose it's plausible. But with all the astral energy flowing through the palace, not the palace. Arts that were keeping them in line must have been disrupted. I doubt it was otherwise the work of the Great Spirit. I believe it's such a massive consciousness could deliberately conceive and then carry out. Interesting. Oh, Rena. Okay. Oops.
You both seem awfully calm.
Only because after everything we've seen, we don't have the energy to keep being shocked.
How are you holding up, Rinwell? That whole talk about the Renans looked like it shook you up a bit.
Yeah. I get this sinking feeling whenever I remember how Dahnan mages like my family were persecuted and died out. And now, I finally know why that is. But I was thinking, if Renans end up living together with Dahnans again, then mages won't be such an unusual thing to see on Dahna anymore, right? I know it's not as simple as all that, but Dahnans probably won't be so quick to let their guards down, and there might be Renans who still act superior because of their arts.
It wouldn't surprise me. 300 years of bad blood and prejudice isn't going to be an easy thing to overcome.
Yeah, I know firsthand just how much hatred can take hold in your heart once you let it in. But even so, I was still able to change. And if I can change, so can anyone else. So I was thinking maybe, I don't know, I could use my position as both a Dahnan and a mage to help bring both sides together.
Rinwell.
That great spirit worries me too, though. Dahna's will feels so warm and inviting. So why is Rena's will trying to destroy our entire planet?
Now that you mention it, Hevrek 35 and the other scientists here never really brought that up. Maybe they don't know either.
Maybe. But regardless, at the end of the day, Dahna's still our home. There's no way we can let it be destroyed.
We won't. We'll keep it safe no matter what.
Oh, it's you two. Does he seem like he's doing any better now?
He who? Oh, you mean Dohalim, don't you?
I know that we're all struggling to wrap our minds around it all, but he looked like he was taking it really hard earlier.
What do you think about everything we've learned? About the Renans and the Great Spirit and all that?
On some level, I'm not even really sure what to think, to be honest. I mean, the Great Spirit is like a huge natural disaster, but with a mind and will of its own. But if that thing's hellbent on trying to destroy our planet, then the only thing left for us to do is stop it. As for the Renans, I suppose my feelings on that are a bit more mixed.
How so?
Coexistence between Dahnans and Renans in Menancia is still a work in progress. In my case, I think that's partly because deep down, I was still on guard around Renans. So, to be told that they're like us, that they're actually just like us is, well, I guess it's a little deflating, to be honest.
You kept a pretty level head.
You mean about the Renans? At the end of the day, the Helganquil and the Great Spirit are the ones who are responsible. But at the same time, I realize that not every Dahnan is necessarily going to believe that either.
I know you're already aware of this, but the list of grievances the Dahnans have against the Renans is long, and understandably so. And if people then find out that they're all actually one and the same, yeah, I don't think they're going to take to it too kindly.
Even just among the Dahnans, I'm sure there'll be some who emerge with power and some who won't. I think if we can find a way to get rid of that imbalance, then we'll be in a truly good place.
Well, first we can try to figure out what to do about the existing conflicts we have.
Yeah. It'd be nice if one day people could learn to get past their hatred like Rinwell did.
It's no small task. We can't pretend like the past didn't happen and ask people to forget their very real pain and suffering.
Right. Everybody has their reasons for feeling the way that they do. But if we just keep yelling at each other about it, we'll never move on. In a worst-case scenario, it might lead to even more people getting killed.
And we all have to figure out how to meet halfway. Not just that, but to also embrace each other's pain, in a sense.
That's an interesting way of putting it.
It's true. Everybody has their own scars, their own trauma. The first step to healing those wounds is to put aside that hatred. It won't be achieved through reasoning, but I think it's a good first step, if nothing else. And now, I think I see a way to move forward. But to do that, first we need to make sure our planet isn't going to get wiped out.
True. True. Overseer will, in all likelihood, remain with us for the time being, as its vital signs continue to show us stable. It appears their biology is surprisingly close to us. Isn't that just utterly fascinating? Are Dahnans still not given surnames of their own? Crude of a tactic as it is, it's nonetheless an effective subjugation tool. We all aren't that different, though. Grandiose sounding. Ours are simply a means to identify an individual formative background. Well, that took place on one. Everything has gone quite smoothly. Such aberrations for ourselves, we would likely ignore them, as it's not our policy as observers to interfere. When Lenegis was activated, no consideration was made for the safety of those in the residential quarter. Not that it matters. Once the plan is complete, Lenegis will serve no purpose. It's only logical there would be more pressing concerns instead. Be so pleased to be able to witness the transformation of Dahna before it passes on. I'm gonna talk to Dohalim in just a second. I'm gonna grab a water bottle.
Ow. Ow. Are you just going to keep standing around or what?
Sorry, I'm just getting prepped over here.
Did I hear him talking or something? Oh.
I apologize for making you witness that.
You mean hearing the origins of the Renans?
Indeed. It's shocking to have so many things I thought to be indelible fade away in mere seconds.
Even I'm still not sure everything we've heard here is actually true.
Let's not delude ourselves. If what we've heard is a lie, it's a rather elaborate one. I can only imagine that you must have been constantly feeling like this, ever since your memory returned, Alphen. And you as well, Shion. About your thorns, and being a maiden.
That's just part of being alive, don't you think?
Well, to say the least. But enough about me. I'm not concerned for myself. What concerns me is all of the other Renans out there.
When you say the other Renans, you mean the ones that are living on Lenegis or Dahna, right?
Correct. Even if we stop the Great Spirit from annihilating Dahna, our problems will still remain. Putting aside the untold state that Rena may be in, if we do not truly belong there, we will have to think long and hard about where it is that we wish to return to.
So, I guess your only real choices at this point are to either stay on Lenegis or come down to Dahna, huh? And right now, Lenegis might not even be a safe option.
And at the same time, Dahnans are hardly likely to embrace Renans with open arms. If the issue is forced, things could turn dire. There is, after all, 3 centuries worth of hatred to overcome between us. And the victims of our rule have absolutely every right to feel animosity towards us Renans. Our own circumstances as the aggressors are irrelevant.
I didn't expect the former Lord of Menancia to be so down about people reconciling.
Menancia's fate was a stroke of good luck. There had been backlash over how it had been ruled, and I was blessed to have sympathizers among my ranks. Still, even now, there remain ardent dissidents.
But things can still change if you have the right people to help lead the way. Isn't that what you hope to achieve on Lenegis, after this is all over?
Indeed. I have fully accepted the burden of that responsibility. In that regard, I remain determined. On that note, I have something of a favor to ask of you, Alphen.
Oh? What is it?
I wish for you to serve as a mediator, so that the Renans can live on Dahna peaceably. As the one and only Blazing Sword, I suspect the Dahnans may listen to what you have to say when problems arise.
And I take it that you'll be the one to represent the Renans?
Yes. I realize that I'm asking quite a lot of you. However, the fact of the matter is that it will take time for Renans to re-enter Dahnan society without any bloodshed. That is why...
You're the same as ever, Dohalim.
Is it too much?
No, relax. You get so tense and formal when you're asking for a favor. Listen, there's no need for that. We're friends.
You're too kind. I can see you were raised well.
That's some high praise, Alphen.
Then I'll ask once again, this time just as friends. Alphen, will you help me?
You don't even need to ask. Of course I will.
Thank you, my friend.
Interesting. Oh boy. Hey, Law, what's up?
I still can't believe it, man.
You're not the only one still trying to make sense of all this. Believe me.
Really? You've never struck me as the type of guy to get hung up on these sorts of things.
Did you forget what happened back in Thistleum? Once my memories started coming back to me, I felt completely and totally lost.
It was really that bad for you?
Yeah, it was. But thanks to Law and everybody else, I remembered that I still had things out there worth fighting for.
Man, I think you might be a better guy than me, Alphen. All I can remember thinking was, when's this guy gonna get his act together?
Law.
I was too worried about repeating the same mistakes I'd made back with my dad, and running away from the truth. That was no way to live. And I've tried to stay strong, my way. But all this talk about other races and the world ending, if I can be honest with you guys, it's just all too much for me to handle right now.
I know this is going to sound strange coming from me, but maybe the key is not to worry too much about the big stuff right now.
Oh?
I used to worry all the time about my thorns, for obvious reasons, but I never really opened up to anyone about them. And when I realized my visions pointed to a threat that was bigger than me, I didn't know what I should do, or who to tell. But that's when I finally got it. You guys were all there for me, to teach me what's really important. I just had to open up and listen.
In other words, if you let the big picture stuff get you all muddled up inside, you'll begin to lose sight of what you really care about. Yeah, I think you're right.
The thing that's most important, what I really care about, all I want to do is protect the people that really matter to me, to fight for them. That's good enough, right?
Not everyone is strong enough to fight.
Huh?
It's something your dad told me once when he was still alive. Law, you know you're strong enough to fight, and you're strong enough to protect the people you care about. Forget all the big stuff going on. Just don't lose sight of what you want to protect in the first place. Sound good?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it does. It's like a big weight's been lifted off my shoulders. I'll fight to protect the people around me. Just like I always have. I think that's best.
Well, it sounds like everyone's learning from their past and using it to create a better future for everyone.
What about you, Shion? How do you feel about the origin of the Renans?
To be honest, I'm not really all that shocked, actually. I mean, I might be a Renan in the literal sense, but I've never really felt like one of them. Right now, it's kind of a mystery.
How do you mean?
Because for a really, really long time, all I ever thought about was how I was going to die. Not if or when, but how. I thought I'd die alone. That fate had me in its steely grip. I would have never imagined that I'd be traveling with someone like you, fighting to save Rena and Dahna. I mean, how could I have? It's been going on for 300 years. All this tragedy and destruction. When you consider the Helganquil's part in all this, it's been even longer than that. It was Naori's hope that somehow, someone in the future would be able to stop it before it was too late. How it fell on us, of all people, to heed that call is a mystery.
I don't think Naori was hoping that we would just stop the world from getting destroyed. She considered me, a Dahnan, as a real person. And she very much cherished her own people, too. I don't think she wanted the world to be saved, just so they could go back to hurting each other. Oh, maybe this is what she meant.
Huh?
When we were talking to Kisara earlier, about all that stuff like everyone's needing to meet halfway and embrace each other's pain and suffering. She said that the first step down that path was for each of us to put aside our own hatred. That means forgiving other people, even and especially before they forgive you.
Forgiving. So it goes both ways, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I don't just mean forgiving things that happened in the past either. Conflicts will keep happening. If we have any hope of moving on and building a better future, we have to all learn to forgive each other.
You know, you're right. People can hurt one another without even meaning to. I know that better than most, thanks to these thorns.
It's not going to be easy getting past this pain. But if we can do it, I'm sure there'll come a time when we can all truly understand each other. I'm there with you, Shion. I too want to protect the world we live in, and all the people we care about. I think that's the very least I can do to repay Naori for everything that she did.
Yeah. I want a future that she would feel proud to live in, and I'm going to fight for it.
Whoa there, Savior Girl. We're here to save you too, you know.
Yes, I know. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten. I want to live, and that's the honest truth.
Well, is everybody ready to do what needs to be done?
I am. There's a lot to think about, but at the end of the day, Dan is still in danger. I don't care who we're up against. We'll kick their ass.
What are your thoughts, Alphen? I want to know what's on your mind, too.
Like Law said, if we have to fight the Great Spirit on Rena, then so be it. It's trying to rob us of our entire world. And it's going to take not just our home, but all of existence along with it. That alone is enough to make it our enemy. But it's not only that. One way or another, I think beating the Great Spirit is going to be tied to us saving Shion.
You're saying there's a chance?
You're referring to the vision of destruction we all saw on Lenegis, I take it?
Yeah. 3 centuries ago, the astral energy that appeared at the spirit channeling ceremony showed Naori that vision. And to hear Shion tell it, it's the same one that she sees from her own thorns as well.
Indeed. Shion's thorns are comprised of dark astral energy, the one type which we know is native only to Rena. And if Rena's great spirit is what's behind Dahna's pending destruction, then...
Shion's thorns are the Great Spirit? It's not actually on Rena like we thought?
We don't know anything for certain. At the very least, though, I think it's possible her thorns are a part of the Great Spirit.
While the main body resides in Rena.
Shion.
If these thorns really are a part of Rena's great spirit, I'm going to go over there and give it a piece of my mind and then some.
The question is, how do we confront it? Suffice it to say, that flower growing out of Rena is enormous, large enough to house the will of an entire planet. The Wedge and Lenegis were both hard enough for us to overcome in their own right. This is an altogether greater challenge for merely 6.
And we only know about the Thorns connection thanks to Naori.
Hevrek 35 has been observing the great astral spirit this whole time. It wouldn't ask us to fight it unless it has a plan of some sort. Let's go see what that is. Our minds are made up. Let's go give Hevrek 35 our answer.
So if the Sovereign and Maiden were originally boot-up programs for Lenegis, what about now?
Even with the Forbidden Zone in ruins and the Renaissance stolen, Lenegis is functioning fine. If it needed us before, it doesn't appear to now.
First they lumber you with a position you never asked for, then you're discarded like you're nothing? Who the hell do they think they are?
More importantly, who do they think we are? We might not even factor into their list of concerns.
I just hope everyone on Lenegis is safe.
Worst comes to worst, Lenegis is equipped with a large number of starships the people can escape in. As long as the whole satellite doesn't suddenly explode or something, they should be fine.
Wait, explode?
In any case, if we're truly going to make a difference, it's on Rena we're needed, not Lenegis. The people there will be fine, I'm sure of it.
Right.
This is pretty. That's Dahna and that's Rena. Okay.
Do you have your answer for me?
We want to ask something first. You're asking us to fight an entire planet. How exactly do you expect us to do that? You must have something up your sleeve, or else you wouldn't put us up to it.
The great astral spirit is an immense being, but its actual will does not run throughout its entire body. Rather, its will is derived from the core, which supports the rest of the body, and is where its strength is most densely concentrated. Therefore, if you destroy the core, the Great Spirit shall become unable to maintain sentience, and return to being ordinary astral energy.
And how are we supposed to destroy that core?
By using the Rena's Alma. You will also need the assistance of both the Sovereign and the Maiden. They are our best tools for suppressing and controlling astral energy. Using their powers, the Maiden shall seal the great astral spirit within her body, and the Sovereign shall wield the power of the Rena's Alma to destroy it.
Hold on. That sounds a lot like what Shion described before.
Yeah, killing herself to take out the thorns with her.
She was actually right all along.
Oh.
By my calculations, your powers combined should be sufficient to destroy the great astral spirit and disperse its energy widely enough to make it difficult to reform.
What will happen to the Maiden once we manage to beat the great astral spirit?
Any matter contained within the field of destruction shall be erased.
So it really will kill me.
This method is the most simple one available to destroy the Great Spirit, and is therefore our most reliable option.
What are our other options?
There is little reason to consider alternative courses of action when the most optimal among them is so clear.
You don't get it. I promised Shion that she wouldn't die, that we'd save the world without needing to sacrifice her. We didn't fight this whole time just to give up on her at the very end. If there's any other way to take out the Great Spirit, I want to hear it.
This plan shall lead to the fewest losses in preserving your world. Abandoning it is irrational.
That's...
It is vital that you proceed with this plan. A part of Rena's great astral spirit already resides within her. 300 years ago, the Great Spirit descended upon Lenegis in an attempt to assume direct control of the spirit channeling ceremony. We have reason to believe the Great Spirit left part of itself behind, and that it now resides in the Maiden.
Which would make Alphen's earlier hypothesis correct.
That part inside the Maiden belongs to the core, and can be used by the great astral spirit to revive itself. So long as it remains, it will be all but impossible to fully eradicate the Great Spirit. That is why it is necessary for it to be vanquished only once it is whole. Without the Maiden's direct control over the Great Spirit, attacking it is futile, and will only serve to strengthen it.
No.
Wait. Naori said that the Rena's Alma can suppress the self-realization of astral energy, and that the thorns can be neutralized by placing them in it. If so, can't the same also be done to the Great Spirit, seeing as the thorns are simply part of it?
Well, can it?
It is true that the Rena's Alma is capable of what you suggest, and could contain the great astral spirit.
Yes!
However, doing so requires fine control on the level of the spirit channeling ceremony, considering that the Rena's Alma was previously lost when that ceremony failed. I cannot allow it. Its uncertainty is simply too great.
What does that mean for us if you won't allow it?
Your starship will not be restored, and you will all be unable to leave here.
Why you?
Fine then. I'd rather stay here and rot than do it your way.
Alphen?
Whatever we do, if we mess up, Dahna's screwed. The Great Spirit will destroy it. If you're fine letting that happen, and we have nothing to gain either way, then I'd rather do nothing. We want to stop Dahna from getting destroyed. We want to save it. But not if it means having to sacrifice one of us in the process. If all you're gonna do is sit back and watch us where it's safe, then quit ordering us around and shut up!
Alphen.
What you say is irrational. Be that as it may, I shall accede to your demand.
You'll agree?
I am an observer. The Sovereign, Maiden, and Rena's Alma are my species' greatest achievement. I wish to see how well they work against the Great Spirit in light of our demise by its hands.
But what are we supposed to do about the Renis Alma? One of your buddies ran off with it back on Lenegis.
It is likely that the Renis Alma is with the Great Spirit, functioning as a catalyst for it to receive Dahna's astral energy.
So our only option to retrieve it is to head straight for the Great Spirit and take it back?
According to my observations, the astral energy is most densely concentrated in the center of Rena, where the Great Spirit's core is located.
So right in the middle of that giant flower, then.
I have one more question. You've said that Rena's great astral spirit is already integrated with the planet. What will happen to Rena once it vanishes?
Without the will of the Great Spirit, Rena is predicted to collapse. Even in such a scenario, the energy will disperse, and the Great Spirit will likely not reform.
So you're saying that even if we manage to beat the Great Spirit without destroying it, we'll still be in danger?
Likely, the collapse will occur in stages. It is recommended that you all escape before the final stage.
Man, I wish that thing would tell it to us straight for once.
Hevrek 35 and the others have gotten used to hypothesizing from afar is all. Fix our starship. We're going to Rena.
Excellent.
But I want to make one thing clear. We're doing this for ourselves, to protect what matters to us. We're not doing it for your sake, or because you told us to. Remember that.
It matters little to me. The end result shall be the same. Repair work on your starship has commenced. You'll have to wait until it's finished.
The truth.
Man, is it too much to ask for Hevrek 35 to talk like a normal person? I swear I can feel my brain starting to fry after listening to all that complicated stuff.
Don't worry. I think we're mostly done with him. Now all we have to do is rest up and wait. Once the Fall Knights is good to go again, we'll be taking off for Rena right away. Is the Renis Alma really our only hope against the Great Spirit? There has to be another way, right?
Shion's Fire Master Core was able to suppress astral
What's up,
energy
Coolix?
to prevent it from gaining sentience, right? Couldn't we make use of that somehow?
I'm not sure. In small doses, maybe. But with the amount of energy we're talking about here.
Back in Calaglia, the Blazing Sword was able to take in a whole spirit vessel's worth of energy. If it has the capacity to manage that, it can do this, right?
Except after it absorbed the energy, it ended up releasing it all moments later, remember? Let's not forget, it nearly killed you. Besides, this is the Great Spirit we're talking about, not a paltry vessel. Even if I could use the Master Core, your body wouldn't be able to take the strain of channeling that much energy.
Hevrek 35 didn't mention it, and it did not seem the type to skimp on details. So assuming it's even possible, the chances are slim to none.
You're probably right.
It'll take some time to completely repair your starship. I suggest that you all get some rest in the interim.
You still thinking about what the scientists told us? About where Renans really come from?
I am, but not for myself.
You're worried about the future of the Renan people.
The fact that our people have been the same this whole time will only give the Dahnans further reason to resent us.
But you still intend to confront this truth head-on, don't you?
Well, I did declare that I would live my life for the living, and not the dead. Even as I dream of retirement, I shall remain dedicated to the cause.
I'm sure you'll do great.
Now that I think about it, I don't believe I've ever heard you criticize or reproach us Renans even once.
I'm no saint. I have skeletons in my closet too. There was definitely a time when I hated Renans for who they were. I hated them just for being Renan. But you changed that, Dohalim. You gave me an opportunity to see them in a different light. Thanks to your reforms, we were able to stand next to Renans not as slaves, but as equals for the first time in our lives. Of course, I'm sure there were some Renans who still hated us on the inside. But we knew that not all of you were like that. There were those of you who were good, and that was a start. When it comes down to it, Renans are just people. They can be good or bad, just like Dahnans.
That is, in essence, the heart of your approach, isn't it? That we're all people.
Yeah, it is. When you can pull someone aside and talk to them one-on-one, then you have the chance to come to an understanding. But as soon as you stereotype, that chance goes away, and you stop thinking of them as people that you can relate to.
I understand what you're saying, but we're talking about massive numbers of Renans and Dahnans alike. Realistically speaking, surely they won't all be able to get along.
Even if we end up butting heads with one person, maybe we'll find better luck among their friends. If we can build a society that works like that, that'll be something worth nurturing and protecting.
So you wish for people to form real bonds and do away with the hierarchy outright? To deal with one another as humans, and nothing more? That's the ideal future you hope to see when this is all over?
Yes, I do. I think it would make for a fine tribute to my brother's legacy. Though, that said, I would be doing it for the people of the future first and foremost. Do you still plan to return to Lenegis when this is over?
Indeed I do. I don't know whether I'll be able to reside in Lenegis proper, however. My first order of business may be to find somewhere to live.
You'll always have a home in Menancia, you know.
As I shall ever keep in mind.
Well, if you ever need a helping hand, don't hesitate to come get me. I'll always be there for you, Doe.
Did you just... Never mind. Thank you, Kisara. I appreciate your patience as I work all this out.
Don't even mention it. And really, when you think about it, now that we know the two of us aren't so different after all, don't you think that brings down a barrier that used to be between us?
You know, I hadn't actually thought of it that way before. But I do like the sound of it.
Yeah, I think I do too.
Hey, why'd you call me here? Was there something you wanted to talk about?
Well, if everything we've heard about the Great Spirit is true, then we're getting close to our final battle. So I wanted to apologize while I can.
Apologize? For what?
I was being real stupid before, about whether Dana's will had been controlling us and all that. I get why you're angry now. Anybody would be if something they trusted was being questioned. So, I'm sorry, Rinwell. Really. I should have kept my mouth shut.
No, Law. Honestly, I think you might have been onto something. Of course you were worried. Who wouldn't be if they found out there might be some invisible force pulling our strings this whole time?
But you really trust Dana's will, don't you? Is it because you can sense it a lot more than the rest of us? Because you can understand it?
Yeah, I think that might be part of it. But I also want to believe it's good.
Believe?
Remember how I used to really resent coming from a family of mages?
Yeah, of course. Because you were always on the run and had to live in hiding.
When we rescued Zephyr and I finally decided to come along with you all, something changed inside me. It was the first time I felt like my powers had any meaning, even if that meaning was only helping you guys fight. Then, when I felt Dahna's will, I was overwhelmed by how vast and warm it was. It made me want to believe my powers were made to connect with it. It made me believe I had a bigger purpose.
So that's why you hope it doesn't turn out to be bad. You almost need it to be kind.
Yeah.
Well, alright. Then I promise I'll lay off bad-mouthing it.
You will?
There's no way for me to know for sure one way or the other, right? But you trust it, Rinwell, and that's enough for me. So I'll trust it because you do.
Remember what I said about neither planet's great spirit reaching us here?
Yeah?
That's not quite true. I can feel just a little bit of Rena's inside you and everyone else.
You... what?
I sensed it when we first got here. It's a really small amount, so it doesn't feel like it has a will of its own. But I think that's how Dahna's energy probably is too.
So you're saying there's a little bit of Dahna's will inside each of us? In a way, doesn't that mean we're all Dahna's will?
What?
Well, like you said, unless Dahna's energy comes together, it has no will. So if we all have a little bit of Dahna's astral energy inside us...
Yeah, maybe...
Hevrick 35 might know the answer. But, you know what? I don't need to ask it. My will is my own. I fight for who I want to fight for. That's who I am now. Who I've become. So thanks, Rinwell, for sharing that with me.
Ah.
To be honest, the only reason I was suspicious of Dahna's will, well, I mean, it mostly was... I feel like you and I had grown apart lately, and I was worried it was because...
Huh?
Never mind. Nothing. Just forget about it.
Huh? No, what were you saying?
Saying? I don't remember
Come
saying
on.
anything.
Now you won't tell me what you were thinking?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Then spit it out already.
You sure you don't want to get some rest?
I can't. I've got too much on my mind. Especially knowing how close our last battle is. How are you doing, Shion?
Same as you, still trying to absorb everything.
Remember when it was so simple? We were only fighting all the lords on Dahna? All of that feels like a lifetime ago, doesn't it?
Ages and ages ago. Everything that's happened since we first met. So many fights, so much chaos, so many wonderful people.
If I hadn't run into you that day, well, I wouldn't have met all of you. I never would have held the blazing sword or looked for something more. I wouldn't have my memories back. I'd still be a faceless slave, like as not long dead.
Hey, Alphen. I want you to promise me something.
Yeah?
If we can't find the Rena's Alma, there's something I want you to do. Like Hevrick 35 said, The only way we can end the Great Spirit for good is to go after both the main body in Rena and the thorns in me. I need you to promise me, Alphen, that if for some reason we can't get the Renis Alma back, you'll use the Blazing Sword to destroy the Great Spirit, and me along with it.
Huh?
It's true the Blazing Sword may not have the strength of the Renis Alma. But it's taken us this far. It's slain lords and beasts. At the very least, it has to be worth a try.
You can't be serious. Have you forgotten everything
Listen,
that we've...
the Great Spirit isn't just our problem. It's a threat to our entire world. Renans and Dahnans alike. We don't know what's going to happen when we face it, but we need to be prepared for anything. We can't second-guess ourselves when the time comes. I promise you, I'm not planning on going anywhere. I'm prepared to fight with absolutely everything I've got. But if it comes down to it, I need you to be prepared too.
Okay. But you should know that I'm not going to give up on you, Shion. I'm going to fight this until the very end. I hope you can forgive me for that.
Alphen. Okay, I understand. And I'll forgive you.
Thank you, Shion.
So it's a promise then?
Yeah, it's a promise.
I remember how I felt the first time you touched me. My thorns made any contact a mistake no one would ever make twice. After they'd seen what could happen, fear would always linger behind their eyes. In my entire life, I never had someone willingly reach out to me. But when you reached out to me and gently took my hand, you didn't react at all. It was so easy for you. I don't have words for the shock I felt in that moment.
That's because I couldn't feel pain back then.
Even once you could, though, you still chose to keep reaching out to me. And when you did, I felt this warmth that I had never known before. But still, I hate having to see you suffer through it every time you do.
You won't have to worry about that for much longer.
You think so?
I do, because Shion,
No. You can tell me once my thorns are gone. Okay?
Yeah. Okay. Everybody get enough rest? We ready for this?
Yeah, we should probably get moving.
Agreed. Can't stand around waiting all day.
Our task is relatively straightforward. We need only descend down to Rena, defeat the Great Spirit, and restore stability to both worlds.
We're fighting for a new future for both Dahna and Rena.
Right. We've come this far. We will save our worlds. That's a promise.
Then let's go, everybody. We've got one last wall to tear down.
Repairs on your starship are complete. Everything is in working order.
Is that you, Hevrek 35? You can see us from where you are?
I can. I can see anywhere within the bounds of Dake Faisal.
Sounds like someone's a peeping Tom.
Maybe we should give Hevrek 35 a break. It has been stuck in this tiny facility for a very, very long time.
I have unlocked all functions on your starship. You can now make use of its warp drive.
Warp drive? Wait, you mean like what the Red Women used on us? What brought us here?
It's possible that the Red Women may have found a way to activate it on the starship. They are Helganquil, after all.
Using the warp drive, you should be able to breach Rena's atmosphere without being detected.
Wait, should?
You'll need to be careful. Due to the force field surrounding Rena, the ship will be unable to go any further than the surface of the planet.
So, once we reach the shell, it appears we'll have to infiltrate the core by foot. Understood.
We gotta go all the way down just walking?
Will all the Helganquil go back to normal once we defeat the Great Spirit? I have a strange feeling we're going to have to fight them before this is all over.
The extinction of my people is inevitable at this stage. As such, it would be illogical to risk the success of the mission in a vain attempt to save my kind.
We understand.
Can't that thing lighten up a bit? Everything it says seems to be about what's illogical.
Well, come on, Doe.
Hold up, did you just...
You heard the lady. Get going.
I have one last question.
What?
As Sovereign, your identification number indicates that you are well past your predicted life expectancy. Similarly, the Maiden lacks any identification number, as her function should have been rendered unnecessary. Despite this, the two of you continue to exist. Why?
We exist because others have entrusted this to us. Over the years, many people have come together and sworn to see this through to the end.
You mean it is because of multiple chance interactions? The likelihood of such events is statistically improbable. Why have you two continued to persist under these conditions?
It's hard to explain. To be honest, I don't think it's something an observer could understand. All right, time to get back on the Fall Knights.
Damn, cutscene to cutscene, back and forth. It's time. Oh, we're well rested. Anything special?
It would appear that our Helganquil host really has fulfilled its end of the bargain.
You know what that means. Time to go to Rena.
I guess this means we should give that warp drive a spin.
There's nothing here. This weird ocean we're surrounded by just stretches out everywhere. Is this really where the Helganquil come from?
I don't sense even a trace of astral energy. This world is dead.
Then this must be the hollowing.
You mean to tell me this whole world, the entire ocean is that stuff?
Dude, that's morbid as fuck.
It's covering everything. The entire planet.
Oh my god.
This is what the Great Spirit does. After it depleted this planet of every last speck of astral energy, it went after Dahna.
So arresting. This world of doom.
Back in its day, Rena was probably just as vibrant as Dahna is. But after being robbed of its astral energy for so long, those days are gone and past. This is all that will remain.
So the Great Spirit took everything. It stole energy not just from living beings, but the land, the sea, everything.
And it bound the Helganquil in servitude until their whole world was nothing but this. And by the looks of it, that's how it remains to this day. A world of death and emptiness.
With nothing left here to consume, the Great Spirit turned its sights on Dahna, looking for another host.
You're saying if we don't stop it, this is what Dahna's going to look like?
We can be sure that even these few remaining remnants of Renan life will not be spared in the end.
If the oblivion and darkness both Shion and Naori saw comes to pass, nothing will survive. It looks like we can climb down from there. Let's take a look.
Destroyed remnants, Rena. I'm wondering if...
So this is Rena. This is where everything began. Yet it's a dead world?
I won't let Dahna suffer the same fate, ever.
A hollowed ocean as far as the eye can see. What do you think would happen if we fell in?
What do you mean, what would happen? You'd drown, wouldn't you?
Come to think of it, I don't believe I've heard of someone ever trying. Perhaps you'd like the glory of being the first?
Nah, I'll pass.
This is essentially a world-sized Renan graveyard. Are you proposing to disturb the dead slumber just to satisfy your curiosity, Law?
No, because I said I passed.
Taking an interest is understandable, but let's not forget where we are. This place deserves our respect.
Looks like we're not going to be hearing the end of this one for a while.
You'd think I was already snorkeling in it or something. So the idea is to seal the Great Spirit inside the Renis Alma using the Sovereign and Maiden's power. But just how do we do that exactly?
I'm guessing it won't be as easy as holding a spirit channeling ceremony at our leisure.
I already had wielded astral energy once 3 centuries ago. As for suppressing her thorns, Shion's had a lifetime's experience. The problem isn't just our enemy's strength, it's that it's sentient too. And you can bet anything you like it's not going to just sit back and let us destroy it.
In other words, we need to find some way to weaken it in advance. The Great Spirit, that is.
Back when Shion's thorns flew out of control, we were able to deal with them directly. If this is their host, they should be even more corporeal here.
If that's the case, it should make them easier to attack at least. And if we can manage to divert enough energy away from the spirit's core, even temporarily,
we might just be able to weaken it enough to steal the Renis Alma, which we can then use to seal it away forever. It won't be easy, but it's our only shot. Time to buckle up. Question for you. Let's say, knock on wood, everything turns out for the best.
What'll the world be like? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of this, do you really think everything will be that different?
A lot will have to change, that's for sure. The world will have to adjust to so much. My only worry is if those changes turn out to be merely skin deep.
What do you mean?
It's well and good putting an end to Renan rule. But if it just turns the tables, it's all for naught.
That's true. Just as bad if the Dahnans started pressing their own.
Renans, Dahnans, astral art users, mages. The world is full of labels used to divide and separate people.
If only we could see differences like that for what they are. No different to someone having a musical talent or being good with their hands. Not differences so much as characteristics.
It will take someone in power to set an example. But with time, people will follow. And then, perhaps one day...
There will no longer be any need for the example. It will have become second nature.
That's where we come in. We can set the example. Imagine it. A world where magic and astral arts are used to help people. Where that's the norm rather than the exception.
Yeah, you're right, Rinwell. Why wait for somebody else? We can show them ourselves.
Ooh, we can go back to Lenegus? Sure. I might take the time right now to explore a little more before I attempt Rena.
Hey! Hey, I just realized something!
Is this about dinner last night? I didn't realize those ingredients were off.
What? No! I mean... Wait, you fed us rotten food?
Rinwell, the point.
Oh, yeah, right. So I was thinking about those armored soldiers we've seen. There are regular Renans inside them, right?
Yeah, they're designed to make whoever's wearing them stronger. At least, I think that's the idea.
Right. So it kind of begs the question then, why are they made so huge?
I don't know, makes them more intimidating, I guess? Or maybe all that tech wizardry inside takes up a lot of space.
You don't think it's weird how the armored soldiers are the exact same height as the Helganquil?
Can't say I'd ever noticed it till now. And?
Connect the dots, Law!
Okay, let me get this straight. You think the armored suits might have originally been designed to allow Renans to work alongside the Helganquil?
Huh. But if that's true, what would that mean?
It would mean... just that, I guess. But still, don't you think it's kind of interesting?
Not... hugely? Hey, Kisara, while I've got you, what's on tonight's menu? Because I was thinking, maybe meat?
Get him, Hoodle.
What did I do?
Oh, now you want to listen. Keep pecking, Hoodle!
Ow, ow, ow! Seriously, what the hell? You know, guys, when you think about it, we've taken out a lot of Zoogles. Like, a whole lot.
You can say that again. If one thing's for certain in this world, it's that wherever we go, we'll always end up bumping into them.
Isn't it weird that they're still so plentiful? You don't think the Renans have, like, a ranch where they breed them, do you?
Certainly in all of my years, I've never heard of them constructing such a massive facility on Dahna, let alone up in Lenegus.
The only thing I can think of, then, is that the feral ones must be reproducing on their own.
There's also no organized effort on our part to hunt them down, so it's difficult to fully exterminate them.
Exterminate them? Whoa, don't you think that's maybe a little harsh?
What do you mean?
Zoogles originally used to be living creatures native to Dahna and Rena, right? Being genetically modified isn't their fault.
You're right. Zoogles were only created because of us Renans. We altered the original creatures to suit our own ends.
First, people made Zoogles, and then we let them go. And now we're trying to kill them because they're a threat. They really have only seen the very worst, huh?
I hope we find a way to be able to live side by side with them one day.
It's a nice thought, but they attack towns and cities. What else are we supposed to do?
Aside from the strays that have gone wild, it's worth remembering that Renans are able to keep them somewhat under control.
If we had distinct territories that didn't overlap, that might reduce the danger they pose.
Well, I guess when you look at it that way, maybe people and Zoogles aren't so different after all.
If there's any quest stuff that we can do here. I mean,
We've reached our destination.
I wonder if something happened.
Yes.
Current generation of Rena is correct. That would put 100 years between us. You can do an ancestor to your generation. As such, I have a duty to demonstrate respect to the elders like me. Such respect truly merited in this instance. Couldn't tell you one way or another, but it seemed like he needs help with something.
Excuse me.
Try to beat me to the punch with these things. Surprised to hear you object. I thought you understood that sometimes the quest for knowledge requires that we get our hands dirty. I'm saying I'm gonna let you do this. You'll be losing out on a valuable. Shall we? Respect. Of course, I have no objections. My head is starting to hurt trying to follow these two. They must be pretty strong if even you admit that. I don't know what you want from us, but don't expect us to agree to anything.
Hey!
The gap had gotten so wide that young people forgot their manners.
Really now?
Well, at a time we're busy people ourselves with our own matters to attend to.
What?
Should finish the job again.
I see.
One's a little lazy to me.
Agreed.
Very nice.
A 6-armed giant. Tissue sample.
Dohalim, the line of researchers is getting longer.
Perhaps I should have put more thought into this before accepting.
Oops. Gehem Helgarashi. Legion. Go back to Pelaglia on Dahna.
I hear a voice. Somebody's asking for help.
Oh, hi, Alfie.
Hey.
Look too hot, kid. I'm really hungry. Rena gone, there's still not enough food to go around.
Yes.
Need to establish trade routes and have a little food coming in.
Just great.
How's this?
Got it.
Hey.
Have this bread.
Yay!
All right.
Sure. Do that one.
I never realized before just how hot this place is. It's like being inside a fire.
You're only just noticing? Ah, yes, forgive me. The whole lack of sensory feedback situation.
That's the one. It's hard to believe I once worked in this soup, let alone helped spearhead a revolution.
And all with the mask concealing your face. It must have been very grimy beneath that.
Back then, we had our plates full enough dealing with constant abuse from our Renan overlords. It never occurred to me the air itself was oppressive in its own way. My head's spinning just with the effort it takes to walk.
I think that's called heat stroke. You might want to take a sip of water.
You mean that water that's been festering under the sun for days? I wouldn't chance it without boiling it first.
I know! I'll go to the dock and fetch us some clean water.
Water alone won't suffice. He'll need to ensure his sodium levels are replenished as well.
In that case, let's see if we can rustle up some rock salt. Alphen, you go cool off in the shade for a while. Xion, stay and keep an eye on him.
What?
And then there were two.
Bit of an overreaction, but it's still kind of them.
Maybe it's not the time, but this place brings back memories.
I know what you mean. We're back where it all started.
You don't ever regret meeting me sometimes, do you?
Are you kidding? You started all of this. Bringing down the wall, retrieving my sense of self. I have no regrets.
Welcome back, Law.
Ooh. Funny. So much teasing.
Hey, she's pretty cute.
Who are you looking at? Quit gawking and let's go.
Ow! Hey, Alfred, what do you think of that chick over there?
Doesn't look like she really works out.
I'm not talking about her muscles, you dummy!
Oh my lord. Thanks, Hustle. Appreciate it. Are you kidding?
Hey. Hey! Yes!
What's up, Gordina? Find another recipe. Find delicacies here in Calaglia.
Sure.
Kind of what cooking is all about, isn't it? I would have figured if you of all people would know that.
I don't believe this. Ah!
Okay! Great!
Oh my. Wheat and eggs.
Good.
What you need here?
Nice work. Ah!
Eggs and toast. It's gonna be eggs and toast. Gotta be.
But this is...
Wow.
I'll give him credit there, but doesn't the inside still taste a little doughy to you? Or just plain old fried bread? It looks like I have more work to do. Fried bread that's still doughy. Wait, I've got it. How about these? Are they supposed to be rings?
Yes.
Donuts.
Oh.
amazing!
Nice work. Very nice.
Your heart, it comes from a good meal. Hold on. It's really about. Teach you the recipe for these donuts.
Thanks.
Thanks, Gordino.
Yes.
How do my donuts actually taste? I mean, donut recipes. Oops. They're running around doing side quests. How funny.
We finally made it.
I think Hoodle senses something.
There's an owl here, Hoodle? Where? Man, now I gotta check. Scrap meat. Yo, Scrapple? Man, I need to find Hoodle's friend. Monocle.
Hoo! Hoo, hoo, hoo. Look, Hoodle, one of your buddies. Hoo!
Hey.
Help yourselves. Some kind of treat?
Yes. Oh.
Yay!
I'm making them over in Glenmead. Glenyamead. There we go. Yeah, still using.
What?
Make food this tasty here in Calaglia.
Yeah!
Sheesh. Sir Jack. I emoji. So cool now we have to make stuff like this. here.
Yes.
Yeah!
Clerk uniform. Glutton code. Glutton's code. What is that?
You've collected an awful lot of those objects. You sure it's not just
Hush. Be quiet for a moment. The pieces speak to me.
What?
These relics that have scattered about. I can hear them whispering, longing to reunite with their lost friends and become one again.
Really? Do you hear any voices coming from them, Rinwell?
What? No! Don't get me wrong. I'm really interested in these things too, but I'm not crazy.
But don't you sometimes mutter stuff like, "Come to me, astral energy," when you cast your arts?
You're right. Oh my gosh. Are Dohalim and I actually alike?
Its charm really shines through now that it's been reassembled. Its streamlined shape, its geometric patterns. This is no mere amateur's work.
He's in his own little world at this point.
You get just like him when it comes to weapons, you know.
You're right. Oh my gosh. Am I just like Dohalim?
Huh? Why are you guys so quiet all of a sudden?
We avoided getting roasted in that ring. What we could really use is something to cap this off.
Sure. Got any ideas on what would be good?
Mabo curry. Fried bread stuffed with curry.
You'd probably buy out the whole stock.
Mabo curry. Okay. Scroll describes the demon's beast ecology and food chains therein. The two are destined to chase each other for eternity. Clerk costume? Yo, what? Hold up. They got a new costume? Hold up. Yo, in the shoes, bro. What's she on the like? Oh, it just that. I see. I guess. Sora? LMAO. Don't leave. You got more drip. Drip the fuck out. Jesus. What? What are those boots? Oh, okay. Let's take a moment to, you know, not be super serious right now. We're everybody gonna be working at the donut shop. Oh. Didn't get much skill points out of that. Oh yeah, that one. Okay, where else do we go? Pulls back. Hi, hello, Callie. Thanks for putting more points to the Popeye Biscuit Challenge. What's going on, Callie's world?
I see someone who looks troubled about something.
A little compassion can make all the difference. I propose we...
Yeah!
Any points though right now. You folks are staying busy. Oh.
Hey.
Hello, Jennifer Diaz. Thank you for the follow. You didn't have to do that, but I appreciate it. Seem to be in high spirits. I try. Thanks, Hustle, for putting in more points. Staying positive, if nothing else. For all with everyone so scared right now, it's important for guys like us to stand tall and keep hope alive. Bet you we're gonna go to the Berg volcano. Bernard cut him some slack.
Yeah.
He said he has a favor to ask you guys. You should talk to him yourselves. Tell him I sent you. See you later.
That's great.
I add you on Discord. That sounds like some. I don't know about that. That's a kind of a weird request out of nowhere.
I guess.
No problem.
Thanks.
Another sidequest. Jeez, man.
Huh? Well,
Let's talk. You said you had a favor to ask. I fucking knew it. The ways. Managed to contain it and block off the road. Why do we look like chefs? We did a side quest to make donuts. So, you know. Who knows when it break loose there, start causing blah blah.
Huh? All right.
I guess.
Jesus.
Whew.
Got it.
So he couldn't help you. We'll come to it. I mean, look at all the outfits, Callie. Log in. We'll just do the first four. I'm dumb. Hold up. The wasteland. Oh, okay. I understand now. It was behind that rock the whole time. I don't know how well we're gonna do this, but we're gonna try.
Looks like we made it here in one piece.
Do you sense one of your friends, Hoodle?
One of Hoodle's friends? Where they at, Hoodle?
Get lost!
You're mine! The flame inside me, you're...
A comfortable win.
Is this the barrier that's keeping the Zooglin that Nath mentioned?
Looks like it. Our Zoogle pal should be on the other side.
This barrier is weird. It looks old and half-finished. Plus, he said it was okay to break.
I mean, we won't need it anymore once the Zoogle's gone, right? So what does it matter? Did they really think that barrier was enough for a Zoogle like that?
It was. That thing was sturdier than you give it credit for.
Really? So that's the Zoogle, huh? This should be a piece of cake.
I hope
Don't
it
get
is.
careless, Law.
That's a big Zoogle.
Yeah, I'm not sure we can take it.
50 something? 53. Okay, we can. I think we got this.
Brace yourselves. This one's tough.
Uh-oh. Not fast enough.
Watch this. Now or never.
Rising Wyvern!
Go for the weak point.
Eat dirt!
No armor can stop me.
Remind me to stay on your good side.
Lunarongo! Soaring Dark Spear!
Anything in armor is almost smart.
Here I come!
Leave the enemy's arcs to me.
No complaints here.
Stardust!
Outstanding form.
Devastation! You're finished! Take this! No escape!
I'll smash you.
It's over! Roar! You picked the wrong fight! Take this!
Here I go.
Oh, now you're talking.
Rising Wyvern! Mirage!
Can't get out of this.
Nothing gets by me. There you go.
Armor won't save you.
Blah, blah, blah. That's his field. Leave now. Art expert. Touch
Shion, no! Oh my gosh, Shion getting her ass whooped.
through.
Oh my god. Yo, he's panicking. Hold on. Hold on, Alphin.
What was I thinking?
I'm not done!
Everything is medically
Am I getting my ass whooped or some shit? Holy fuck, that's not okay. Get up, Shion.
not my finest.
This should do it!
Take this.
Jesus, why is this Zoogle hard? I don't understand. This is dumb.
Resonate with the earth. Stalagmite. Does it hurt? I'll grind you into dust. Sorry.
Escape! Stardust! Lunarongo! It's over! No further. Stay away from my friends!
Healing circle. I'll bring you back from death's abyss.
Be careful not to overdo it.
I'm
Dusty, you got a problem? I do? Are they like popping up everywhere? I didn't think there would be a bot that would get through. What the fuck? Yeah, be careful. There, we banned. Yo, their bots are getting so fucking crafty now, man. This is insane.
Primed and ready. By the power of water. Guess I have to do this sometimes.
A thrilling
Don't be with my heart. I never miss.
elusive deity.
Oof. Revitalize. Healing circle.
I'm back in. Start by holding the front line. No sooner said than done. Amazing. I won't give up. Come on, burn! You have to hold on. I can't lose.
Here I come!
Glacial
I'm not
fire!
done!
Ryan! My head's spinning just watching you. I owe you one back. Catapult. There. Gravitas field. Soaring light spear. What? Catapult. Annihilation. Catapult. Prepare to be sealed. Look sharp. No further. Denied. Here. You're mine. I'm not done. I don't have much left. Tiger blade.
The fluidity of your movement is simply incredible.
I have no limits. You're mine! This one's all mine!
Hold on to your arts. Here I come.
Thank you for all your help. Please, don't mention it. I'm glad.
I'll burn it all! Flaming pillar! Fire!
Nice.
An outstanding bring you down.
Not on my watch.
Appreciate the help.
Here I go. Into the shadow. Annihilation.
Inferno crossing. Look sharp. In here. Desolate.
Stardust!
All heal.
Lunar corruption. Lunar blast.
Look sharp.
Soaring light spear! It's wide open!
It won't escape me.
It's over! The flame inside me yearns to be let free!
No further.
You'll pay for that!
I let my guard down.
Burn!
Radiant here.
Here I come! Struck! Lunar Rondo!
They smite with blackened blade. Execution.
Take this!
Stalagmite.
Art expert coming through. Not on my watch. Reload.
Green bathed in
Rondo
blood.
ready.
Rending you
done.
apart. Bloody
Lunar
howling.
Rondo!
On your knees.
I won't give up.
I couldn't make it in time.
Dragon Swarm! Air Pressure! Explosive ring!
Rending you apart. Bloody howling.
Dude, I have burnt so many life bottles fighting this thing.
A new lease on life. Lunar corruption. Lunar blast.
Dragon Swarm!
Art sealed. Lunar corruption.
You the vanquished soul with
Here,
light.
let me help.
Resuscitation.
Here's a healing art.
Into
First
everlasting
aid.
darkness. Negative gate.
Going in.
Flame inside me. Yours to be let free.
Lunar corruption.
Piercing roar.
Rending you
Hurricane
apart.
Try this!
Bloody howling.
Explosive light!
Can't move.
Fuck.
Leave me.
I let my guard down.
Jesus Christ.
Back from death's abyss.
This death shall not be forgotten.
Resuscitation. There.
Not done yet!
Searing flame.
Can't get out of this.
Here I come! Stardust!
Bring you back from death's abyss.
Tempest.
Art searing flame.
Train harder.
It's done!
Seismic rupture.
Hurricane flood. Searing flame. Reload.
Catapult.
Lunar corruption. Lunar blast. Dragon
Thank you for the healing, Dohalim.
Our comrades need our abilities to survive.
Right. No one is dying on our watch.
Dragon Swarm!
You require a hand.
Lunar corruption!
Such unadulterated fury.
Annihilation!
The fuck?
I'm in your deck, Dohalim. Then tonight's meal is on you. Good go.
What to make?
Sorry. I didn't want to put you out.
What are friends for? We can't depend on one another.
You're right. I'll bear that in mind.
To be let free!
What in the world?
Dohalim!
I'm all right. I'm still standing.
Try this!
Imbued.
What was I thinking?
Explosive ring!
Here's a healing art. First aid.
No further.
Here I come! I'm not done!
I'll
Try
bring you
this!
back from death to base. Art expert coming through. Not in your dreams. You're bruised
Fuck.
all over. Did you even notice?
Guess I got carried away.
I'm not always going to be around to heal you, you know. Here, let me help.
This vanquished
First aid.
Why'd you heal me?
To stop you dying?
Right.
Gia, no! Oh my fucking god, dude. I hate fighting these Zoogles, man.
I let my guard down.
My fucking HP. Alright, well, we're not fucking fighting this thing then.
Imbue this vanquished soul with love. Resuscitation. Breath of life. Heal my wearied companion. Cure.
Dude, I hate fighting this fucking thing. It's just dumb. Like, the stagger not exist when fighting these things? Because this is a pain in the ass. I don't understand.
I'll bring you back from death's abyss.
Such unadulterated fury.
Art expert coming through.
No further.
Are you for real?
That did it.
Damn it! Out of ammo!
Not today! Dragon Swarm!
Will this help?
Rising Wyvern!
My pride was my
Lunar
downfall.
Rondo! Watch it! I'll burn it all! Flaming Pillar! Fire!
I'll
Here
bring
I
you back
come!
from death's abyss.
Dragon Swarm! Swallow Blade!
I won't give up.
Forgive me. This is my fault.
Hurricane Crush!
From beyond.
Jesus Christ, man. Each.
Imbue this vanquished soul with life.
I'm gonna need more than that.
What was I thinking?
Heal my wearied companion.
Mega Ray! Inferno! Annihilation! Radiant Spear!
Resonate.
Lunar Rondo!
On guard! Hold on to your butts. Here I come! I can handle it!
It's in your hands now.
Switch to offense!
Ugh.
Far enough. So now you're getting serious?
Don't mind if I do.
What is the point of using that if it can't, like, break through every little thing? Oh, these extra Zoogles are making me just irk. My chair is not helping it either.
I can't lose.
Try harder!
I'll bring you back from death to base.
Try harder!
Resuscitation!
On guard!
Lunar corruption! Lunar captivity! Hurricane Crush!
Try harder! This one's all mine!
Engulfs you.
Burn in hell!
Going in!
Take this!
To accomplish this.
I'm not done! Lunar Rondo! A Okay, here I go.
Can you take it?
Where are you going?
Prepare to be sealed.
Here, let me help. First aid!
Let me free you of your
Here I come.
Annihilation! Radiant
Soaring light spear.
shine.
Dragon
I
form.
won't give up.
Yeah, no.
Stay away from my friends.
From beyond, imbue this vanquished soul with life.
Flaming meteor!
No, it can't end here.
Really? The fuck, dude?
Torn up!
From beyond, imbue
Mega ray! Lightning! Blast
So you're gonna just constantly death loop me. That is disgusting.
Can't be happening.
I'm gonna need more of that medicine.
Going in.
catapult.
Oh, Halim, you gotta resurrect, buddy.
I'll take you all on. Ha! Flare the Malisa!
From beyond, imbue this vanquished soul with life.
What was I thinking?
Elusive deity. Rotating fire drive.
Jesus.
In a bind,
Yours to be let free.
benediction light.
This one's mine. Going in. Igneous discharge. Inferno crossing. Healing circle.
That's some bullshit, man. That's some hella bullshit. Ain't no fucking way, dude. I have to have her spam the healing shit. Healing circle.
Piercing roar.
How does your health go down like that? I fucking hate this Zoogle, bro. This is one of the worst designed Zoogles to battle. Oh my god. Oh, I only have one life bottle left. This fucking sucks, dude. Okay. Orange Joe.
They smite with blackened blade.
It's weakened.
Take this. This ends now.
Back into the fray. Going in.
Dragon form.
Tearing you apart.
Flaming meteor.
Bloody
Inferno
hell.
crossing. That
Watch
move.
yourself. This incredible power. Carried away.
Try harder. Not
Healing circle.
Come on. It doesn't even affect. That's stupid, man.
In a bind.
Now isn't the time.
I really
Never
don't.
miss.
Not a chance. Start up.
Luna Rondo.
Ignite. Here I come. No escape.
Hurricane Flood. Healing circle.
Soaring light spear.
Girl, you gotta spam that healing circle.
Plenty left.
You may be strong, but I'll never back down.
We're gonna have to spam healing circle and do it in a loop, which just sucks. And they're still dead? What the fuck, bro?
Nothing back. Dragon swarm. Rising wyvern.
This can't be happening.
I'll burn it all.
How the fuck did that bot just get into the Discord? That bot is disgusting. Oh, the Halim. Over here, fucker.
Such unadulterated fury.
Not on my watch.
Try harder. Take this.
Here's a healing art.
Stardust.
First aid.
Oh. How? What in the how? That's dumb. No! Oh. Oh, this hurts.
Resuscitation. Take it into the shadows.
Shion, you have to live. What the f- Are you serious? This is lame.
Hold on to your arts. Here I come.
Guess I'll just have to solo it.
Here I come. I can't move.
What? Retry? Oh my fucking god, dude. This is miserable.
Brace yourselves. This one's tough.
Nope. Steal. There we go. Alright, we're just gonna fuck a whale on this thing.
Glad you have your uses. Here's a healing art.
I'll show you how useful I can be.
This one's mine.
Should've broke it. That's lame.
This one's mine.
Dragon Swarm.
Shine, radiant light. No
I'm
further.
going to need to use all the power of my healing arts to accomplish this.
Dragon Swarm.
Ready. Glacial fire. Tiger blade.
Bloody holiday.
Hurricane strike. Leave the enemy's arts to me.
No complaints here.
Here I come. I'm not done. Lunar Rondo. Stardust. You're on. Dragon Swarm.
This
The
one's
flame.
mine.
Side me yearns to be let free.
On guard. Lunar blast.
This isn't looking good.
Glacial fire. Green blazer. Going in.
Shion.
They smite with
Hurricane strike. Back into the fray.
Ignite.
Hold on to your arms. Here I come. Into the shadows.
take this.
Igneous discharge. Radiant light. My head's beginning to...
It's in your hands now.
You'll pay for that. Thanks.
I'll let the marksman handle this.
Hard up. Armor won't save you.
Resuscitation.
Guess I had to use it sometime.
Ground and power. I'm going to need to use all the power of my healing arts to accomplish this.
Lunar Rondo. Lunar Rondo.
Let's get over the pressure.
Rising Phoenix.
That'll bring you down.
Dragon Swarm. Eat dirt.
Going in.
Dragon Swarm. Try this. Explosive ring.
Hey, what's up, Maya? How you doing?
Damn it. Out of ammo.
I am over here struggling on this optional side quest.
In a bind.
Annihilation. On
I
guard.
can carve through armor.
Here I come. Stardust.
Lunar
Lunar Rondo.
Negative gate.
Tiger Blade.
Doing okay though.
Lunar Rondo.
Annihilation. Inferno.
No further.
What the fuck? How do you still hit Dolim, dude?
I'll bring you back from death's abyss. Hurricane. Outstanding form.
Their arcs were interrupted.
If it's in the sky, it's mine.
Inferno Conquest. On guard. Shattering the pieces. Attack time. Rending you apart. Lunar Rondo. Bloody howling. Far enough. Forgive me.
I never fit.
Dragon Swarm.
Hurricane force. Going in. One more.
Explosive ring.
Radiant flash. Here. How about this?
I can carve through. Knock it into next week. Radiant
Hurricane force.
regeneration.
Ready. This one's mine.
I could do without you.
Hey.
Let us take this way. I'm going to need you.
Lightning meteor.
I'll heal you all.
Forgive me.
Healing circle. Kill my
I healed myself.
Dragon.
hurricane force.
Going in. Explosive ring.
I'll grind you into dust.
I let my guard down.
Forgive me. Thanks. My fault.
Radiant here.
No further.
This one's all mine. Slash.
I'm out of ammo.
Not today.
Hang strike. First aid.
Resonate with the earth.
Look sharp. Watch and
Try this.
Rending you apart.
hurricane strike.
Explosive ring.
Art expert coming through.
Look sharp.
Let me help.
Bloody howling.
First aid. That'll bring you down.
I owe you one.
Not on my watch. Going in.
Negative gate.
Lunar corruption. Tiger blade. Lunar blast.
Lion howl. Explosive ring.
Some regeneration.
Water. Hear my.
Okay, here I go. Is that a healing art? It is. I can't ignore your pain. I'll try to be more careful.
I can carve through armor.
Now or never. Right.
Art seal.
Sorry. I didn't want to put you out.
What are friends for if we can't depend on one another?
You're right. I'll bear that in mind.
On guard. Dragon swarm.
This one's mine.
Here I go.
Hurricane
Elusive ring.
Searing flame. Going in. Reload.
Try harder.
No more playing nice. Going in.
Dragon swarm.
Lunar blast. I'm all stuffed up.
Burn it down. Smoke. Look sharp. Lightning tiger blade.
Radiant light.
Oh boy.
Dragon swarm.
Anything in armor is all mine.
Suffer in silence.
Lunar blast. Hurricane
Explosive ring.
It's time to finish this. Die. Consuming wildfire.
Nice. I wish that did a little more damage though. The fuck is going on?
My art can do. Rise and shine.
Thanks.
Okay, I'm getting a little better with this.
This one's mine.
I just healed her. Please leave me alone.
This should do it.
Where are you going?
Try harder.
Prepare to be seized.
I can carve through armor.
Annihilate.
Thank you for the healing, Dolim.
Our comrades need our abilities to survive.
Dragon swarm.
No one's dying on our watch.
Dragon swarm.
Water. Hear my call.
In a bind.
Ready to go. I'm going. Let me show you what my art.
I let my guard down.
Giano.
From beyond. Imbue this vanquished soul with
Lightning
life.
Rider. I owe you one.
Resuscitation.
I think she has to constantly spam heal circle.
Here goes.
Dragon swarm.
I owe you.
Flaming meteor. You're all
Giano.
Now where was I?
Sorry to trouble you.
Dragon swarm.
Lunar corruption.
Glacial fire.
Seismic
Lunar
rush.
blast. Tiger blade.
Ring.
Annihilate.
unadulterated feeling.
Wits about you, people!
Try harder! Try harder!
No further!
Alright! Thank you for that. Well, let's get back into it.
Captivity!
No more playing nice! Here, let me help.
Swallow blade!
First aid! Water, hear my
From
call!
beyond, imbue this vanquished soul with life.
Explosive ring!
Glacial spear, hear me!
From beyond, imbue this vanquished soul with life. Resuscitation.
Take it! Stardust!
Lightning meteor! Here goes! Can't be happening!
Forgive me.
I can feel the medicine working.
Aw, too shy to come over.
I can carve through.
Here, let me help.
Lion's power! I'll bring you back from death's abyss.
Look sharp.
Here I come!
Here
Now, while it's reeling!
Take it down!
In form!
Lunar corruption!
Explosive ring!
Can't be happening!
This should do it!
Look sharp.
Stardust!
Ready and ready.
I can't lose.
Look sharp. Plenty left.
No.
Tiger.
Dude, it took out my whole health bar. I had max health too. Stupid, man. Oh my god. This boss need to chill. So now you boost break? I don't understand. Uh-oh. Maybe orange? No. Lemon gel.
I hope this medicine works.
I let my guard down.
First aid!
Take this.
I'll bring you back from death's abyss. Where are you going? I'll bring you back from death's abyss.
Dragon swarm!
Annihilation!
Explosive ring!
Burning strike! Glacial spear! Now here's what I can
I let my guard down.
Here's a healer! Annihilation! Mega ray! I'll bring you back from death's abyss!
Dragon swarm!
I won't give up!
You, no further.
Stay away from my friends! Rising wyvern! Swallow blade!
From beyond,
I let my guard
imbue this
down.
vanquished soul with life.
Dragon swarm!
Watch yourself. I sense incredible power.
I can't lose that move!
Here comes a big one!
I'll heal you all!
Hold nothing back!
Healing soul!
Ignite!
That's fucking dumb.
Back in it. Start by holding the front line. No sooner said than done.
Not now, not ever! I can't move!
Don't give up!
This should do it!
I'll heal you! Whoa! Healing circle! I won't give up!
No, Shion.
Here I go!
Oh my fucking lord.
Bathed in blood, rending you a bloody howler.
Dude, we're so close. And this is just making me irk.
Arch field!
Go, Holly. Shion.
I can feel the medicine working. Freeze laser! I won't give up!
Really? Come on now. Well, it's distracted.
Medicine working. I'll bring you back from
Try harder!
But
Stardust!
resuscitation! Will this help?
Take this!
this again.
In here. This
Nate, this is ridiculous. Tidal wave in the worst spot.
I'm almost impressed.
High praise coming from you.
I said almost. Don't be careful. I can carve through armor. And again.
Now or never.
Hold on to your art. Here I come. Reload. Glacial spear.
Running out of. Orange Joe.
Ready and rare. I can carve through armor.
Give up.
Shion, no. Oh my god. Shion dead. Oh my fucking god, bro.
A new lease on life.
She better use resurrection.
Can't move.
I dodged, motherfucker. What? Stupid.
I'm gonna need more of that.
Back into the fray. Glacial spear. Piercing going in. Freeze blade.
Dude, I'm about to fuck up this guy real quick.
It looks like we made a mess.
Please absorb. Oh my god, this is so dumb. The fact that they have over limit themselves. Oh.
Be careful not to overdo it.
The flame inside me yearns to be let free.
Not like this.
Lunar roundup.
Annihilation.
This should do it.
No, I'm not losing them.
Try this. Explosive ring. No further.
Look sharp. Thanks,
I can
Shion.
carve through armor.
Will this help? Hurricane strike.
Dragon
Demon
form.
blast. This one's mine.
Healing
All right. I won't give up.
I owe you one.
Hurricane strike.
From beyond.
Flaming meteor.
Vanquished soul of life. Resuscitation. Take this! Heal my weary companion. Cure. Now you see what I can do. Another incantation ruin.
Shield and ice.
I'll heal you all.
Flaming meteor.
Healing circle.
Power
Switch off.
Such unadulterated truth.
Freeze lancer.
Try harder. Dragon form.
Annihilation. Eat dirt. Watch it.
Denied.
Try harder. My turn.
Lunar corruption.
Eat
Shattering the attack time.
Try this.
Great help.
Explosive ring.
Tiger blade. Lion's help.
Rage.
Alright.
Negative gate. Now you see what I can do.
Tiger blade.
Dragon form.
Inferno
Execution. Explosive ring.
Negative gate.
Dragon form.
No further.
Here's corruption.
Where are you going?
Ready and ready. Rush up. No further.
Dragon form. Try this. Explosive ring.
Here's the evil.
Going in. I let my guard down.
No.
Dragon form.
Resuscitation. I'm going to need to use all the power of my healing arts to accomplish this. Resurrection. I'll bring you back from
Try
death to
harder.
this. Resuscitation.
No rest for the witches.
Mega ray. Annihilation.
Dragon form.
They smite with black.
I'll heal you all.
Make it rain.
There we go. Holy fuck. Jesus, man!
Huh? What's a letter doing in a place like this?
Hell if I know. I highly doubt that Zoogle was trying to guard it. Still, somebody must have left it for some... Law.
Huh? What's up?
Something up?
It's from my old man. My dear son, I wonder how things will be between us by the time you read this.
In any case, I first want to congratulate you on all that you've accomplished. Making it this far requires a strong body, fine technique, an unwavering spirit, and most of all, friends that you can count on. If you have all of that, then I, as your father, have nothing to worry about. Those things together will always keep you on the right path. That brings me to what I really wish to discuss with you. As with all of us, there will someday come a time when you'll be a grown man who can and must think and act for himself. Whether you'll live in a world where blood will no longer be spilled between Dahnans and Renans, or when that day arrives, nobody can say. But even if peace still eludes us then, you'll have to decide how to live in this world. Listen to others with an open heart, but don't be swept away by their words. Always live on your terms. One more thing. If I ever see you again, I hope to say this to you in person, but neither of us knows what tomorrow may bring. Know this. Whatever you think of me, and what I've done, your mother and I love you very, very much.
And there's nothing in this whole world that will ever change that. Your father, Zephyr.
Zephyr.
I can't believe he's only telling me all this after he's gone. What am I supposed to do with this?
Zephyr once told me that living freely meant
Not
being
enough
your
fishing.
own master. I think he wanted to make sure you know how he felt one way or another. What you do with that knowledge is up to you.
But that still doesn't explain why his father left that letter for him here of
You
all
wish
places.
to see the cake? Jesus.
Don't forget, we were led to this place.
You and
We
Bob.
may well get some answers if we go back to the source of all this.
Wait, there's an owl in this area. Let me go find that first.
Discourteous, aren't you?
I think the enemy's getting desperate.
Got them where we want them.
Don't take your hand, though. Do you think we'll be okay to keep going?
I make no guarantees.
Best of secrets.
Looks like some solid equipment.
No owls up here? Interesting. That is a long drop. I don't feel like that's a good idea to go back down like that. Hoot hoot. I'm trying to find the owl in this area. So, go from there. That looks like a long drop! Jesus Christ.
As I recall, there's a recipe we've yet to try.
Yeah, this is the last ingredient we need.
Then let's go ahead and prepare it.
Broke all your ankles. Yep. Ankles were taken today. Oodles. For the owl.
Great, now I'm hurt and dirty.
Let's see what you've got.
We've turned the tables on him.
There are still...
Right.
Bruh.
No time to hold back.
Did that all without taking a
I
hit.
used a
That's
bit
crazy.
too much healing.
Where's this damn owl? Well, first let me rest, and then...
We should be able to cook here.
Why are you staring at me?
I could ask the same thing.
So this is how the Sovereign and Maiden are supposed to look. You two go great together.
Law, come stand between us.
Oh, sure. You want me to put something white on as well?
Of course she doesn't.
Take a closer look, Shion. It's a miracle.
What are you talking about?
This outfit, it's already got blue accents on it.
So I see.
I love how much amazing food we get to eat even when we're out on the road.
Me too, especially compared to what I used to have when I was still a slave. This is paradise.
It's amazing what good food can do to keep your hopes up. Nagal used to say all the time that the power of food is subtle, yet profound.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? For whatever reason, I find I don't worry nearly as much when I've got a full stomach helping me out.
That's why you shouldn't be such a picky eater.
Huh?
She's right. You always leave food that you don't like on your plate when you're done.
Come on, what's the big deal?
Back in the day, I couldn't think about leaving any food. It was such a waste not to eat at all. You needed every last scrap of energy.
Exactly. Even when my brother and I didn't have much to eat, we all did what we could to make it taste good and enjoy what we had.
That definitely explains a lot about why you cook the way you do, Kisara.
Dohalim, I bet you don't know what any of that's like. You must be used to food being handed to you on a silver platter.
Sometimes it was gold.
You didn't shy away from that at all.
Although, there was one experience that does come to mind.
Oh?
When I first learned that the food I ate originally came from animals and fish, I was rather taken aback.
You just ate whatever was in front of you without even thinking about it?
That's a silver spoon elite for you.
Your cooking has really improved, Shion.
It's because of you that I understand what makes it so fun. I'm glad everyone seems to enjoy what I make too.
I've noticed a disturbing trend that after it's your turn to cook, our ingredients tend to run really low. What's up with that?
That is a good point, Law. There's a weird difference between the amount of ingredients she prepares and how much food actually gets served. Curious. Very curious indeed.
I don't know. Isn't it pretty normal for veggies to shrink a little when you fry them up?
Or maybe she eats all the bad batches herself so we won't notice.
Come on, I wouldn't do anything like that.
Then how would you explain the difference?
Ahem. I have a theory that I wish to propose.
What is it?
As we all know, Shion here can have quite the appetite. I imagine she often taste tests her own food as she prepares it. By my eye, it would appear that her footprints are leaving deeper impressions as of late. Far be it from me to level such an accusation, but the facts lead me to conclude that...
She's been snacking while she cooks.
And yet, she still looks so slender in her clothing.
Yeah, I'm kind of envious, actually.
Wait a sec, are you guys trying to say she's...
I'm what?
Nothing?
I'm
Nothing.
what with the eye stare?
Shion, about that fight just now.
Sorry about that. I was careless.
I didn't come to criticize you. Just please take better care of yourself.
You don't need to worry about me. In case you forgot, I can't exactly die anyway. It's like how you used to not care about getting beat up because you couldn't feel pain, and then I was the one to patch you up. It's the same thing.
You're right. That is how I used to be. But this isn't the same.
Then what do you mean? How is what's happening now different from what happened then?
It's different now.
Look, if you mean because you can feel pain again,
It's because I don't want to see you getting hurt. You're right. When I couldn't feel any pain, I put myself in all sorts of dangerous situations. I didn't listen to anybody's warnings, and I made a lot of people worried for no good reason. I was foolish. This isn't about you and me being able to take pain. I don't want to have to see you get hurt, Shion. It's too much for me to take. Is that a crazy thing to say?
No, it isn't. And I definitely don't like seeing you get hurt either, Alphen. We can't expect our enemies to show us any mercy, but I will do my best not to throw myself in harm's way out there either. How does that sound?
I'm sorry if I sounded harsh earlier. I didn't mean to. I just really want you to take better care of yourself.
I will. At least, for as long as I can.
Alright, what we making? I can't even make the donuts! Oh my fucking god! Can't make the donuts. Oh, no! Did all that just so I cannot make any. Sad. Marble curry. Gnocchi. Fancy parfait. Marble curry it is.
Good. This came out just the way I hoped. Shion, could we talk a moment?
I thought you had something to talk about. I was waiting on you.
Not really. Why? Should I leave you alone when I don't?
No, it's fine.
We used to really have to force these conversations when we started talking to each other, didn't we?
to say the least. Hey.
What is it?
Do you think you'd like to make something together?
Make what exactly?
Just if you wanna make dinner together. What did you think I meant?
Huh? Dinner? Oh, dinner! Yes! Yes, of course! Dinner! Right.
What did you think I was talking about?
No, it's nothing. Don't worry about it. Anyway, what did you have in mind?
Well, do you recognize these ingredients?
This is... Wait, is this?
So you remember? That's right. We're going to fix the very first meal we ever had together. Although I remember it not being well received when we had it.
You still remember that, huh? I'm sorry, Shion.
I'm just teasing you, Alphen. I picked this recipe because it's easy to make, and I thought it would be a good choice for dinner, too. Anyway, let's get to work. With both of us making it, we should be finished in no time.
I never thought we'd end up eating alone like this again. Just the two of us.
Yeah. So much has changed when you look back on it. Well, I guess maybe not what we're eating, but still.
No, I'd say even that's changed too, in a sense. Our meals are a whole lot better now.
True. We've both come quite a long way in the culinary arts.
That's not exactly what I mean. How do I put it? It feels like eating together is a lot more enjoyable than it used to be.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Even after our battles are done, when Dahna is saved and our mission is finished, we'll probably still be sitting down to dinner like this, night after night.
Yep, I doubt that much will change. You've always got to eat at some point.
I hope our dinners will always feel like this.
Maybe not exactly like this. Hopefully we won't still be camping out.
Oh, no, not at all. I meant in a nice, warm house. One with a roof over our heads and a proper fireplace, instead of an open campfire.
And real chairs instead of these logs. Nice plates and silverware on a big dining table. Oh, and a proper kitchen. That'd be nice too.
And when it's time to fix dinner, we'll be in that kitchen.
Standing side by side.
Ooh. Ooh.
Whoops. Looks like we made too much. I don't think we'll be able to finish all this.
Yeah, you're right. I'll see if anybody else is still awake. I'd really hate to have to throw it away.
Side by side, huh?
He's smooth. Intertwining hearts. What is this? Sharing your first meal together, plenty more.
I think it's time we go to sleep.
So you telling me that this man smooth and raised her up like that? Yeah, we'll be side by side. Explosive charge, master art.
Did you get enough sleep?
What? What is this? Oh, it's the tier 2 one. Okay. Bet. Ah, okay. I understand now. I get it. I understand.
Finally, some open space again.
Where's the owl?
Let's dispose of the trash.
Excellent technique.
How are your weapons holding up?
Best not to give me any air pressure.
Looks like it could be worth something.
I don't know where the fuck this owl at, bro. On the map. Gotta be up here.
That's no ordinary enemy I see over there.
We're in for a long slog with this one.
Come and face me!
A comfortable win.
You've got a knack for battle.
I still plan on training though.
That's what I like to hear.
Our superiority was undeniable.
It feels invigorating to dominate a battle.
I was certain I saw you yawn.
Come now, I'm certainly not that relaxed.
Is this the so-called legendary instrument?
Actually, I think it's one of the freight train parts that I was using for a sword.
I'm sure anything will be fine. We should take it.
I'll do my best.
You're mine!
Going
It's
in.
over!
We won that by a mile.
Excuse me. Where is the owl? I'm trying my hardest to find the owl. I tried climbing the cliff again. There we go. Spotted cat ears. Feathered friend. Owl astral energy. Increased elemental attack strength based on number of owls gathered. That's busted.
Look, Hoodle, one of your buddies.
We'll go fishing in a second here. Ooh, there are a lot of people here.
Hey.
Now you're gonna fish when I'm about to go to bed. I was looking for the owl.
Hey.
guess... No way.
Damn, Zephyr did all that?
Damn. Whew. All right.
This is...
Thanks.
Dawn braces. Torchbearer. Awakening burst. Nice. That one's done. Oh, we gotta finish this off.
You okay, Law? You seem kind of quiet.
I'm fine. Just feels a little weird returning home now that my dad's not here, I guess. Oh man, sorry. I didn't mean to bum you out too.
So I guess that means you'll be visiting your dad's grave while you're here. Right, Law?
His grave? What are you, nuts? There is no grave. The Rena would only destroy it the moment they found it.
Back before Calaglia was liberated, dead slaves would be dumped in mass burial sites. Either that or thrown on top of a bonfire. We got used to cremating our own to deny them the pleasure. Then we'd sprinkle the ashes from high up as a way of returning them to the motherland.
It's all we could do. That's the ceremony we had when my mom died, too.
But that was back then, right? Calaglia is liberated now. There's nothing to stop you from raising a true grave anymore.
I suppose you've got a point. Once you've been doing something for generations, though, it sort of begins to take root. It's a tradition of its own now.
My dad wouldn't want that anyway. Cheap and simple, he'd say. Besides, I can't treat him differently than my mom. They might not end up meeting on the other side.
I hadn't thought of it like that. Wow, imagine. The two of them reunited. Back home where they belong. They're probably watching over us right now. At one with great Dahna. There's something almost poetic about it.
That's why I can't afford to screw up. If I know my pops, something as paltry as death won't stop him from coming to box my ears. Still, better than being left alone, I guess. Better than never knowing. You hear that, Dad? I'll make you proud. You'll see.
What do these look like? Dawn bracers.
Looks like we get to sleep with a roof over our heads.
Realm Unifier. Elval. Sodil Imrek. What are these? What is this sword? This looks badass as hell, man. The iron pipe. That looks fucking cool too. Monochrome spiral. Matriarch Martel. What the fuck is this? Martel's definitely a reference. Blue shield. I still want to make that farm fest though. That looks cool. Miss Regina, Sacred Karma, Bright Angelica. Oblivion Ring, Heavenly Gaze. Oblivion Gauntlets, Divine Wrath. Dude, some of these fucking weapons are cool as hell. The fuck? Can't even make any of them. Sag. Alright, we need to stock up. You don't sell any eggs? My guy. Alright.
Looks like we get to sleep with a roof over our head.
Hey, Law. Been training?
Yeah, I guess I got a little carried away. You think this is bad, you should see the state of my underwear.
Bruh.
Yeah. A word of advice. You might want to refrain from mentioning that stuff around girls. Ones without a military history especially.
Man, can you imagine Rinwell's face? She'd have a nervous breakdown.
I meant in general, but you sure mention her a lot, you know.
Oh?
Huh? Oh, you know, she's always there, even when you least expect it. Springs to mind easily.
Either that, or maybe some part of you is subconsciously always wishing she was there.
May the trials and tribulations of young romance never change.
Romance? Like I'd be interested in that know-it-all tomboy. I'm more about mature women. Someone more like Kisara.
You know, I used to be a tomboy too when I was Rinwell's age.
Look, it's not tomboys I have anything against. But come on, you've got to admit she can be a lot to handle.
Hey, I miss anything? What's all the fuss about?
Oh my god.
Rinwell!
Thunderblade!
Ah! What the hell was that for?
A little birdie told me you were speaking about me behind my back.
Wow. Snitch.
From the looks of it, I'd say you've got yourself a rival.
Poodle snitching.
It wouldn't be called the Spring of Youth without a little storm every now and then.
Hey, Shion. How are you and Alphen getting on these days?
That's a little out of the blue. Why do you ask?
Sorry.
She's so flushed.
It's
Look
just-
at her.
I
Oh my
don't know.
God.
I'm just curious, I guess. I mean, a lot's changed now he's got his senses back and all.
I suppose you're right. Well, to tell you the truth, if he'd been the way he is now back when I'd first met him, I probably wouldn't have gotten this involved. But then, if we hadn't met like we did, then I never would have experienced these feelings, so... I guess it's complicated.
I can imagine. I know it's not the same thing, but I know what it feels like to have someone you love who's out of reach.
Because of Miguel.
Alphen's still
Night
alive.
night, Doski. Take
It's
care,
not
Callie.
too late, you know. And after all, who can say what the future holds? I think if I were you, I'd take things
Thanks
as
for
they
stopping
come
by.
for now.
Besides, touch isn't everything. I've never touched you, Shion. But that doesn't stop you from knowing that I care about you, right?
That's true. But I do remember back when we first met, you made it plenty clear you weren't my biggest fan.
But that was a long time ago. There were lots of things I didn't understand back then. Not that that's the point.
Don't worry, I'm only teasing. I know what you mean. Thank you. And you're right. There are ways to convey your feelings besides just touching.
I'll say, cooking immediately springs to mind. And if it's someone's favorite dish, all the better. If there's something on your mind that you want to tell him, why not try appealing directly to his stomach?
You might just have a point. I'll give it a shot.
Uh-oh. If it's Alphen's palate you're appealing to, that doesn't bode well for the rest of us.
Well, friendship is about being supportive. Sometimes we just have to do our best and take one for the team, right?
Creepy crawly. How many skits are they
Even
dumping
after staying
on us?
here, we never truly got to the bottom of what makes this realm's citizens tick.
Renan and Danon are meaningless distinctions here. To have one's own mind is strictly forbidden. All that matters is blind obedience.
That might be the case now, but it can't always have been like that. There must have been something more.
Once, maybe. Question is that something still salvageable?
If it's not, we'll just have to make something new. No, not we. They've had enough foisted on them as it is.
You're right. It's time the people here had the chance to forge their own path. That's not to say it'll be easy, but it will be worthwhile.
These things take time to... What the... An ambush?
Sorry. There was a huge flying bug and I sort of shot without thinking.
A bug? You mean like a Zoogle?
Something tells me she would have shot it, whether it was a Zoogle or not.
This realm is teeming with humid forests. It's only natural insects would feel more at home here than Menancia. In fact, I seem to recall reading somewhere that bugs around these parts lay their eggs in human food to ensure healthy incubation.
Sounds like they're tougher than they look.
What about you, Alphen? Bugs don't creep you out?
I wouldn't say I was their #1 fan. Mind you, if times get desperate enough, I've been known to eat them.
Insects as a culinary option, you say? What kind of seasoning are we talking?
Dohalim, I don't think he was talking about cooking them.
Hey, a lizard!
This shit's funny. Oh my god. Realm unifier. Okay. We gotta go and fish. Go fish here. I'll catch like 2 or 3 fish and then we'll stop for the night.
That was quite the little adventure we went on.
How many skits are you giving me?
Everything okay there, big guy? You look kind of pissed.
I'll say. He looks like he wants to bite the head off something.
What's eating at you? Come on, Alphen. You're gonna bring us all down if you keep that ferocious scowl on.
Oh, sorry. Do I really look that ticked off?
Yeah, it kinda makes you hard to talk to. So, what's bothering you?
It's a pebble.
A pebble?
Snuck its way into the back of my boot. Can't seem to get
Oh
rid
no,
of it.
he has the
Oh, I totally
Ed
get you.
powers from Ed, Ed and Eddie.
Weird how much it can get on your nerves, huh?
Yeah. It's barely bigger than a grain of sand. So how come it feels like I'm walking around on hot nails?
You know, maybe this is a crazy solution, but you could just take your boot off and give it a shake.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, of course. You're right. Phew. It's like I've been given a new lease on life. Thanks for the tip, Shion.
Seemed kind of obvious, but you're welcome? That's the trouble with windy places. All that fine debris ends up getting into your hair and clothes.
Alphen, is it just me, or have you become extra sensitive ever since getting your sense of pain back?
Now that you mention it, the other night at camp, there was a fly buzzing around that annoyed him so much, he unsheathed the blazing sword.
So much for sensitive. That's just being a Mr. Cranky Pants.
Nothing new on that front, then.
What's the matter, Alphen? You look a little tense.
It's nothing, really.
He wants to get angry, but knows that doing so would only prove our point. Hence the building frustration showing plainly on his face.
Would you stop analyzing things for 1 minute?
Point taken.
We're fishing. Oh. I guess.
Reel it in. I'll catch something bigger next time.
Looks like a pretty energetic fish.
Is this what I think it is?
Got him.
Anybody could reel in that.
Not too shabby, friend.
All right.
The bass. Oops.
Anybody could reel in that.
All right, one more and then I'll stop. Nothing but bass in this water. Oh?
We've got a lively one.
Another catfish.
Well, that wasn't much of a challenge.
New record.
Guess it's important to stay calm.
All right. Gonna camp out and make donuts, and then convo, and then save, and then done.
Doing some thinking?
Nah. It just occurred to me that our journey's been going for a while now.
Is it a wonder to you our group has held together this long?
Maybe. We've got Dahnans, Renans, a lord, a mage, and even a guy from another time. Yet here we all are, leaning on each other as travel companions. It's like a minor miracle.
If anything, I'd say it's proof. Proof that as long as we accept each other for who we are, we can all get along.
And with understanding comes togetherness. Yeah, we are more than enough evidence of that.
I've always had a thorny relationship with others. Quite literally, as it happens. I figured that it was easier to give up on intimacy, rather than having to go through all of the pain of rejection. I mean, is it any wonder I grew thorns around my heart, too?
But now...
Right. Now... I still have my thorns, of course. But they don't cover my heart. I know now that there is more than one way for people to relate to one another. It was you and everyone else here that taught me that. Everyone that you brought together, Alphen.
It wasn't just me. I mean, sure, I invited a few folks to join us, but... swordsmanship's about all I have to offer. Everyone's taught and supported me just as much as I have them.
You see? That's what I'm talking about.
What do you mean?
I mean, you're fine just as you are. The bonds that you form with others, they shine more brightly because they're mutual. It's not just one bond for you. It's many, each with a heart of its own. That's what makes them special.
Emblem obtained, enlightening bond. Where is that at? It just appeared out of nowhere. What? Wait. Defeat all lights that emerge from the wedge. Is this like a glitch or something? Oh boy, there's more.
Hey, Alphen, why do you like spicy food so much anyway?
You know, I haven't thought about that before. Maybe because when I couldn't feel pain, it gave me that kick I was craving.
But now that you can feel pain again, wouldn't your tastes have changed?
Did you like spicy food when you were younger?
Not as much as I do now. At some point, it just became something almost like an addiction, I guess.
I can most certainly relate. Once you've had your fill of ordinary food, you cannot help but seek out more unusual fare.
I don't think that's got anything to do with Alphen's tastes. Although I won't deny that you definitely have a thing for exotic food. The stranger the better.
I just wish I could have gotten you into sweets like me, Alphen.
I like food that's dense and keeps you feeling full myself. It helps you last longer when you're on the move.
We all know you're a quantity over quality kind of...
What was that?
Nothing. I lost my train of thought.
You know, I've also noticed Shion's not really into the same kind of food most Renans are. Could be it's got something to do with the way she grew up.
That's so me. Even when I was little, I was all about food that gives me strength. All meat, all the time.
And I guess Kisara is so good at cooking fish because she can catch them herself.
I'm only good with fish because it used to be the easiest thing to get. When you work with something long enough, it comes naturally to you.
I like fish just fine. But what I really like about your cooking is how it tastes homemade. It reminds me of what my mom used to make.
Really? You know, I used to cook a lot of meals for younger kids, and they said the same thing.
When you get down to it, I guess the things a person cooks and the foods they like say a lot about the way they've lived.
You worked hard today too, didn't you, sweetie?
What? Hey guys, I don't see any of our food anywhere.
What?
I know! The bag we kept it all in has vanished! Some Zoogles must have gotten in behind us and swiped the whole thing while we were fighting.
What? Huh? What are you guys talking about?
This affects you too, you know! We lost all our food, including all those sweets you love so freaking much!
What? How could this happen? Those sweets are the highlight of my day! Oh, so hungry.
Hunger is like that. The moment you know there's nothing you can do about it, it becomes that much more unbearable.
Whoever did this, I swear I'm gonna make them pay for stealing our supplies.
All that's left now is this one lonesome apple.
Law?
What? Hey, don't look at me like that. I picked this apple myself. I'm not just gonna...
Food. Hand it over.
Stay away!
Hey, I'm back. Huh? What the heck happened here?
Only a poignant reminder of how dangerous a food shortage can be in a collective. A serious problem indeed. And one we should all be mindful of.
I see. Does it have anything to do with why you're holding our food supply bag behind your back?
It feels kinda surreal to make people happy with something I made.
Smiley face, which...
Go, Halim. Care if I hang out for a while?
Unfortunately, we'll have to continue our conversation later. Once we...
Alright, that's enough. Tales of Arise today. Holy shit, 51 hours in this game. Well, shit, bro.